Just like that. What is going on, Internet? We are on time,
Just
despite the
like
fact
that.
that it's 7:40 because the stream time was when I said it. I want to go ahead and give Popo,
That's what you get.
or just Poe. He put Po Riley, Cuffin Crooks on his name, but
I
I'm
can
not.
uh
I'm not saying
I
all
can
that.
hear the jingle in my head
I
right
same.
now.
The Dan Hammer technically was chronologically first, but that doesn't count for admins. I want to say hi also to Notorious Demo, who put last
It's
in
always
there.
first in my heart.
For real though. Anyways, this is Only Cops. You were here with Bill and I riding two man. We haven't rid just you and I two men on a stream in a minute. That's been
Long
pretty
time.
cool. So, for those of you that are uninitiated, on Tuesdays we talk about police adjacent stuff. You'll probably get a few body cam footage videos in here, but we apply our real world law enforcement experience to try to dispel the nonsense that is the internet's opinion on law enforcement related stuff. Bring some reality to it. If you're from the episodes of The Rookie, it's kind of like that, but with real cop stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say hello to everybody here. Y'all can skim the scorecard. I'm kind of proud of how close municipals are for being positive. Like, we're close. State boys are the only ones that are doing well. And I think that's like the culture for current law enforcement. I feel like of all of the standards that have likely lowered post the weirdness that happened at the beginning of this decade, um, I think it's affected state agencies the least. I feel like their recruiting has had probably the least amount of issues. And in watching body cam footage, I guess now full time that we do this here, semi full time, but it's really rare we see state troopers engaging in misconduct, or at least in a way that can be captured. They are also the least likely to have body cams, so that there's probably a ratio skewing thing there. But you can look and see what everyone's score is. We keep score every single week while I say hi to everybody. Robert Carson, Chris Kaufman, Squirtle, I'm not saying your whole name, Christy C, Jordan, other Jordan.
Hey, pause.
Yes,
Just to go back to that because my mic was muted.
yes.
Um, it's also very easy to not do terrible policing on camera when all you do is traffic stops.
Oh, you know what? That's true. They're not really doing like domestics, which are much more likely to have
Right.
misconduct.
Like, yes,
Burglaries.
traffic stops do suck and they
Yeah.
are dangerous and they can get horrible, but like you're fairly in control
Well,
of a traffic stop.
and also as far as investigations go, once you have reasonable suspicion for the initial stop, like everything
Yeah,
else is
you've
easy street.
got a lot.
You're not responding to like an
So,
unknown violent disturbance. Oh, cool. This could be everything from a party to like a murder. Like I don't get to know until I
yeah.
show up. Welfare checks also like really sketchy hot water for welfare checks. All that stuff's hard. That is very true though. Chris Kaufman, the absolute G that he is. Producer Juan is of course here. Sam, I am getting hydrated. Sam, so be proud of me. I've already said hi to the Dan Hammer. Combative is here. Eddie is here. Skimming. Oh, there's a lot of chat going on here. Articulate my phone. That's pretty good. You know what? I'll give chat some points for that. Articulate my phoners are pretty good. Almost pretty good. Ali, what is going on? We had some good news from Ali. It's a good, different Ali than the last Ali, but good news from that Ali. Nose Nuggets, Custodes, Spike. I just said hi to Emu, Mr. Toestar, Mighty Dork, Dialysis Dude, my bro. He's been an absolute homie these past couple of streams. Ivana, John C, Robert, my
John
dog.
Cena?
No, not John Cena. I can see this one,
Oh.
so not John Cena. He's also not like
Oh.
a Chinese shill. Um, Mac Daddy
Hmm.
and the step Dan. You can't hide from me. I recognize your little, uh, I guess, profile picture. Agent J. It was the 18th, like tonight. Oh, no.
Um
Anyways,
Hi, chat. I saw all of you saying hi to me.
Yeah, Bill's here.
I'm not gonna say all your usernames, but hi.
Anyways, saying hi to everybody. Drop a like in chat. The goal for tonight, I'm going to put it at 85 likes. If you guys get 85 likes, I'll give chat some points. And if you watch the latest episode of Officers React, I referred to a very specific incident while I was in field training where I went nose to nose with the shooting suspect. And if you're part of our Patreon group, you'll get to see that body cam.
Was she a shooting suspect, or was she just brandishing?
Suspected of shooting. We're going to get into that.
All right.
But anyways, if you guys would like to see that stuff, get story time and all that kind of cool stuff, you can join our Discord. There's one of two ways to do that. You can either become a member of our YouTube channel or become a member of our Patreon group. And for as little as $1 a month, you get direct access to those things. And as a side fringe benefit, you also get to see Sony-related content, which for anybody that knows, that's SWAT episodes. Those are living on our Patreon page because Sony hates any of their content being on here. But we did some filming. We did remote filming, so we're going to see how that works. We did film some more episodes. It was productive, kind of. We got 2 more episodes filmed, but they were very long. So I'm excited about that. I think I got everybody. Little Duck, what's going on? We're going to get started with everything. Go ahead and check that stuff out if you guys want to see it. And remind me, do not let me forget about story time, because I will give it to the Discord peeps today after stream, in the after party. Very, very short after party, because I have to work tomorrow. This is an ability test. Shuttle run, I'm guessing. I tell you what, 90 degrees turns suck when sprinting.
Yeah. Who's this for? What department?
Myrtle Beach PD.
Oh. Kind of looks like Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Kind of.
There's like a bunch of little circles you got to make. I get they got like a little print off. 300 yards is not a short distance for sprinting.
Are they wearing a body camera?
Oh, they probably put one on somebody.
It's kind of what it looks like.
Short fences, I think, are reasonable. Stairs, I think, are reasonable. Oh, I like that they let them skip them on the way up. We could not skip them on the way down. That was a disqual at ours. Broad jump? What counts as a disqual on that? I guess if they don't make it. That's like a 4.5 foot wall or something.
Climb through a window.
That's reasonable, actually. You'll do that in policing. Weighted drag. That's got handles. Boo. People don't have handles there. If they do.
Ooh.
Change direction for run. Probably running a little slower. 2 minutes for 300 yards and a bunch of jumping and dragging.
Course record 58 seconds.
I was gonna say, dog, somebody
That's
blew
fast.
through that. That is pretty quick. Even just for the run itself. You know what I mean? Like a 300-yard sprint in less than a minute while doing like drags. Like you're gonna have to stop and change direction for some of that. That's pretty easy.
I'm trying to think of what my personal best 400 would have been, and I want to say like a minute 40 something. So yeah,
that's you're getting after it. Yeah,
58 seconds to do 300 yards plus.
Yeah,
obstacle like the drag alone.
That's shit out a lot of time. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then like the crawl under and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like shout out to them for that. That's rough. I gave 5 points to PD for at least having something worth doing. Is it the hardest I've seen? No, I thought Fort Worth was a bit harder. But
Fort Worth was also very well designed.
Yeah. This is probably I don't know that Myrtle Beach is that much. Well, it's a smaller department for sure, but like I don't know that
a lot of tourism though.
I don't know that they're with a lack of funding, but that's simple. They could set that thing up anywhere, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
What is this right train? Oh, that's a bad time. Dude, the tire's heavy.
Honestly, I'm impressed that they're able to throw the tire like that.
Golly.
Those shields are worthless. This looks like... I might want to kill that music.
I probably should, yeah.
This looks like Antifa trying to fight with trash can lids.
Yeah, I forgot about the trash can lids. This was a good time.
Antifa. I'm anti-fascist.
Yeah.
I fight with pool noodles.
This was...
Who's they raiding? The Michelin Man?
They're discount tire getting jacked up by employees.
I'm impressed they could throw those tires like that.
Because they're at least like 20 inches or 30 inches, you know, like that amount of rubber sucks. Like rubber's dense.
Well, and tires in general are not light. Unless they're like super low profile.
I'm going to give some points to admin for allowing such a heinous exercise to occur. Like the amount of liability here, because like getting a concussion from that.
Dude.
Like, you know.
The shield smacks your face mask on your helmet.
Like that,
breaks your nose.
The likelihood that an injury occurs from that's pretty high. pretty high. Orange PDs, more PD people.
Oh, dude. Go back down a little bit. Save that correctional officer trainee physical agility test. Like, open that in a new window. I want to see it.
This one?
Yep. I want to see what the correction officers have to do.
Yeah, I actually am personally interested in that as well. About to make fun of corrections. Unless it's hardcore. In that case, I bless it.
Yeah.
First time we've held a camera ever in our life. Good Lord.
Are we trying to hide it? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here.
All I see is the sun.
Can't continue, so please 100% but make sure it's controlled. Everybody out
How many
here
points are you taking away
statistic-
from media?
Oh, you know what? 5 at least. Where's media? There we go. Let's take some points.
Just take an even 6. Put them at 7.
Oh, yeah. I'm good with that. I'll allow it.
That was some terrible
This is like
camera
horrible.
work.
Yeah.
you know, those who come out of orals, we end up with maybe 10, maybe 12. So that's kind of what.
Damn.
Where we're at.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Not everybody's going to pass, and that's just the reality of it.
That's what
But
she
if
said.
you truly want this job, if you truly want to work for the Orange Police Department, and we're looking for men and women who have great character, who are confident.
This guy back behind this police officer here.
Dude,
plays
what are
baseball.
we doing? Take your
If you-
fucking baseball hat off.
Truly want this job, don't give up. Just because you don't pass once doesn't mean you can't pass the second time. Alexander. All right. Is ready? Yes, sir. Set. Go.
Bro, on rocked? Like on dirt? Like loose dirt? Jesus.
I would push the guy if I was the dude on the left. I'd push the guy to my right and hope he took out the other 3.
Right? This is a pretty light jog. I'm assuming they're doing distance. So a lot of
Probably a
places
mile
used to
and a
have
half.
the mile and a half. We used to have to run the mile and a half.
154. Yeah.
40 yards out. Oh, no, it's like-
Kind of.
I don't know the point of these little curbs. There's a little like parking barriers. I don't know the point of those.
So it's definitely not a mile and a half.
No.
If his time was 150.
Oh hell no! Yeah, he would have flown through that. No. Yeah, maybe like a 400 or something like
At
that.
best.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
He's got no emergency. Here, get on it. It's an emergency here. Did you hear the shutter?
Yeah.
Someone's taking pictures. Oh, nice. That's a legit
Pretty
6
good.
foot wall, if not an 8
that's
foot wall.
pretty good.
Pretty tall wall.
Ready? Go.
Good technique. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my fat ass will be doing that
Go.
shit now. You're like, oh, I'll figure it out.
Use your feet, dog. Quit smashing your knees into the wall. Not bad for an old guy.
Not bad.
There,
That was good.
That was the way to do it.
There it is.
Not bad.
No handles. Let's go.
Standing a little upright
Yeah.
for me. But
Yeah, Bill's an ass out, knees bent kind of guy.
it's gonna hurt your back right there.
Chain links are easier than you would think. That are like got the frame on them. Now, if
Yeah, I was gonna
there's
say,
no frame, dog, you might as well go through it. Like they suck to climb when there's like very floppy little because they just
Remember my interaction with the wrought iron fence that had the little spikes on the top?
Yes.
Rip my pants from my hip to my knee.
I wasn't there when it happened, but I got to see it afterwards, and I was like, "Yo, dog!"
You saw me in the hospital.
Like that a nurse or a fence? Like, dog, somebody was getting after it there. There you go. Gotta figure it out. There you go. Free advice for anyone that has to do it: just lay over. Like once you get like your waist, just lay over. You'd rather tumble over this thing, because really the problem is, and you'll get this as you become an older person. Jumping off the top of these is not good for your knees. No amount of falling damage is good for your knees.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
very true.
tumbling off of these and like kind of get your feet as close to the ground as possible before you let your weight off that fence.
Yeah.
Just because, again, 1 time's not a big deal. 20 times is not a big deal. But after like the 100th time this has happened, and then worse.
Yeah.
Are you doing this in gear?
Yeah, you're extra 25 to 30 pounds.
Like the amount of times I did it and regretted it.
Dude, just have a cool PTO that pushes you over the fence.
Yeah, there you go.
So then you can
There you go.
then you can go search something on your own. As a rookie in field training.
Let's go.
You got it, fam. I believe in you.
There you go.
I believe in you.
Get up there. Get it up there.
I don't know. She's not getting her chest high enough. She's got a jump push.
She's not really jumping. She's like kicking the wall, kind of.
No frame, looking like Nolan stuck on top.
Come on. Come up. Mariella, Brian, and...
There you go. Literally precisely how he did it. Right there.
Yeah.
Just roll over it. That's the best way to do it. To just
So-
preserve your knees and shit.
Yes, but you're not going to be able to do that with gun belt on.
Yeah, this probably you getting Shrek'd here.
He's
You're getting caught.
on the fence.
Yeah, you're getting
you
caught
need to
on
kind of get yourself up and then roll over, and then I would even say put your foot down on that crossbar
Yeah, that's probably the way to do
instead
it.
of instead of jumping down.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn. That's not,
Right here.
that's why you don't put your foot on the top.
Yeah. I'm trying to see
Look
how
at the
he
dudes. Look at the dudes to the left of the brick wall. Watch when he falls.
This would be my hefty ass getting up these things.
Emu said just roll everywhere.
Also my hefty ass. We got over that easy.
And again, you don't need to jump.
Yeah. Sitting real.
Yeah, who taught these people how to do this?
So she also
No one,
like
clearly.
locked up her legs. Just bend
Yeah,
the knees.
she's like waddling.
Also kind of forklift. Like get it in the. So you're not depending on your hand strength or your bicep strength. Just get him.
That's all forearms.
Yeah.
That's fingertips, forearms,
She's making this
and
way harder on
then
herself. Hey,
your back. You should be using your legs.
shout out to her for being able to still accomplish the task.
True.
But she's making this really hard on herself.
It's the grunt style T-shirt, giving her plus 15 in strength.
That's what it is. How about just going around the fence? That is oftentimes the answer. Not the
Ready? Go.
Or if you're really cool, you go through the fence.
Oh, he made that look easy.
That crossbar, I'm telling you,
There you go.
dumb if you don't use it.
Leg over.
You got it.
Come on, cool guy. Cool guy.
Get up there.
Take a try. This was the method most of the short chicks used, was this foot up method. That's probably the best way to do
Still
it.
gotta jump higher though.
Yeah. A lot of times too is if you just kind of aim for getting like if you can get your forearms over it, you can kind of get your torso over it.
Yeah.
But she kind of like died on oh, she was most of the way there. You just got to commit to this.
If she had got her left foot planted just a little bit higher, right there,
you probably get
she could have got the other
Up
one.
there. Come on.
Very good.
Thanks, sir. You got it. You got it, fam. Let's go.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Like that. Come on.
There you go.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
That's the hook. Right
Damn.
there. That's the hook.
There you go. Come on.
Come on.
I would have a torn hamstring right here. Yeah, this would be.
My foot's never gone that far away from my body, ever.
That would be a torn hamstring. Shout out to you, girl. There you go. Adapt and overcome. There you go. Also, I like it. Like she didn't give up. You know? Look at her digging it out.
That's what they want to see.
That's what they want to see. Just get some tenacity.
Video shot and edited by Sean Price. Well, you should probably take that part out because that was pretty terrible.
It's about to type video is mid. I'll give him.
Maybe cut the intro.
Yeah, cut the intro. I'll give him 5. And then intro was weird. Oh,
Not wired.
yeah, weird. That I before E doesn't always work. RJ. Oh my goodness. Correctional. Let's see it. Let's get after it. Ready? I might be.
Honestly, this is a better intro.
Dude, look at this typing. Oh, there we go.
99-yard obstacle course.
The other one was almost 300 yards.
Purpose could be navigating through obstacles.
To be fair, how far are they going to run in the jail?
Oh, not very bad. 99 yards tops, right?
Yeah,
Go.
you would hope.
Oh, what? What?
Bro, are you walking? Come on, loser.
You know what this was?
Try.
They were like, "Don't you dare get hurt doing this stupid video."
Oh,
That's exactly
yeah,
what it
you're
was.
right.
He
You're
looks like he's in
probably
good shape.
Are they going to have him open a door and close it? Is that part of their test?
This is a very soft job. Like I'm pretty heavy, but I feel like I could have done that. Oh, okay. There's like different parts of it. Okay, I see.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes it's not about the distance, it's about the speed. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Dog, if you can't do 100 yards in 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's. Bro, she ain't even running. Hey, 165-pound bot. I've seen a lot of 120-pound ones or 150 pounds. At least they fetch for the 165.
Well, they had to go off like cumulative average in jail, right?
Your partner
So
is injured. Do you have the strength to carry them to
definitely
safety?
up.
You ready?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Not horrible. She kind of rounded her back a little bit there, but my boy's light work. That's a pretty good technique right there.
Not bad.
500-yard run on a flat surface must be nice.
Time. 130 seconds.
You're running for
That's-
that.
No, you're not.
You think so?
That's 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. When you put it in minutes, never mind. That's not hard. I remember
2 minutes and 10 seconds.
I'm trying to think. They did.
You should be able to run a 400 in sub 145.
Because I think they
you
gave
wanna
us
be-
they gave us like a 90-second one
Yeah.
for 400, I think, in Coppell.
Yeah.
I remember the Coppell one I had to do because it's like the horseshoe
Yeah.
on the track. We were all running, and I think like
You have to.
4 people got eliminated on that alone.
Yeah.
And that's because we had already done like the 1.5 mile run and all that. Like,
Yep.
poor guy. But yeah, that was, I remember like running and he was calling out the time and I was like, bro, I'm still rounding this thing and I only got like 15 seconds left or whatever. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get on it. I wasn't the slowest by far, but like it was, I remember thinking, bro, I'm glad I ran hard in the beginning.
Yeah.
My whole thing is I just didn't want to be last. I was like, I'm not gonna be first because there's some, you know, college athletes and stuff here, and I was like, I'm far from that by the time I decided to
Yeah.
get into policing. But
Do you have what it takes to catch the suspect? Are you guys ready? Yes,
Have a
Let's
patrol
roll.
car. Yes. None of them are.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you guys ready to catch the suspect? How the fuck did he get out of jail?
That's true. Ooh. So this is county. Deputies losing points.
That was pretty sad.
That was not great. That's one of the easiest ones I've seen in a hot minute.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, for most physical tests that for departments that I would be like amped to go work for, that I think they're the tip of the spear, I'd have to right now. Bill wouldn't, but I would have to work out to go get into. Most of it's just the running. If I had to run past like 200 to 500 yards, I'd have to like a mile and a half. I'd have to run for me to be happy with my time. Because I'm nowhere near. I used to be able to do like.
I think a timed run, I would have to put in a little work to get.
Because
ours was what, mile and a half, right? 6 laps.
Because I was averaging at a mile and a half, like an 8:30 mile. I think is what I was doing. Like that. That was as fast as I could do. And that was early.
I would have been. Yeah, I would have had to have been there because my best in service, mile and a half was just under 12 minutes.
I think I was.
So
13,
I would have been at.
I think I was like 13:30, 13:50, or
I
something like that. Was maybe my best. Yeah.
I would have been around 8 minutes.
You'd have been close to 8 minutes flat. I was easily like 8:30 on my mile times. But
that was a lot of work, though. Like that was not. I just
for me
showed up and did it.
Yeah, for me to get to that, because I was doing before I joined Arlington, I would say for like 9 months, I got to doing 2 miles at a time.
Yeah,
like consistently. Yeah. That I was like, hey, I need to average about a 9-minute pace or an 8:30 pace for 2 straight miles, because it wasn't
That's
hard.
What I'm trying to get
right?
back to.
That's what I want.
On, it just need to be activated by pressing the event button.
So it can fall out and record the sky.
The RCMP is set to officially begin its body-worn cameras rollout, with frontline officers in mission getting the first deployment of cameras starting next week.
The call for more transparency
on the top?
has been clearly articulated by
I think they're
starting next.
like malice clips to lock it into the molly.
No. What's on the top of the camera?
Oh,
I
don't know.
A little
I wonder if
screen
it's like
to tell you if it's on?
to give conditions, or how long it's been running or whatever.
Week.
The call for more transparency has been clearly articulated by the public
Clearly
and from governments
articulated.
across Canada.
Over the next 12 to 18 months, the RCMP will deploy more than
Cecilia.
3,000
Hooah.
cameras to 144 detachments across the province. Once worn, the cameras will be running on a buffer mode, and once the officer hits record, 30 seconds of prior footage will also be saved. The officer has to inform the public before they start recording, and that footage will then be uploaded to a secure cloud server stored up to 2 years.
Just want to let you know that you're currently being recorded.
You're in a public place, dog. You guys have CCTV cameras. What are we doing on the notification? That's weird. I would if I was going to take what I knew to be not necessarily a sworn statement, but a statement to police. I would oftentimes tell people everything's being recorded on my body cam. I would say that, but that was more of like I'm nervous about this potentially being admissible in court because I'm not Mirandizing them right then and there, right?
Right.
I'm trying to
understand
build better
that.
PC, but like doing it every time, you know what I mean? It's on there.
A traffic stop.
I'm not doing that.
Whatever.
I wouldn't do
consensual contact.
Nope. I'm turning it on.
How do you think that consensual contact's going to go when you walk up and you're like, just so you know, you're being recorded. Beep, beep.
Emu says, it's Canada. We're weird. RCMP is the Fed boys, right? Or is this county technically?
I think that's like federal.
I think these are federal. Let's see.
I think.
All that maple.
Because aren't they like? Isn't RCMP across the whole?
I think it's across the whole thing. The chat will catch up here in a second. Hold on. They'll tell us. Come on, chat.
Because it's not like they're in one province, right? It's like
feds.
The whole Fed. Up.
Oh, feds.
There you go.
I'm gonna give him 1 point for adding body cams.
There you go.
You're like a decade late on that, if not more.
Well, there's still some state troopers that don't have them.
Exactly. When they're even further behind.
First-hand look here at the current class of Dallas Police Academy recruits. Get a little PT going on. We're now nearly 6 months into what is their 10-month course to become officers. Tonight we continue to.
Hey, this was Mount Survival here.
Yeah.
It was not well done.
Did they up their academy?
I guess they did, yeah.
Or I
we
wonder
continue
if
to
10
follow
months is
3
field training
recruits
also.
as they go through all the physical.
Okay. This right here, stand by. I'm just going to go back a second. This is not how you break guard. Free advice to the aspiring police officer that happens to find himself in a fight with someone that goes into guard. Knee up the rectum. Works every time. It's like an oil check with your knee. Easy mode. And it's not a hit. You're just shoving it up there. They let go. You'll win that. I promise you.
As they go through all the physical and the mental challenges of the academy, it's access no one has been given before.
Like working for
Our Dawn
Dallas.
White tonight with the third installment of Becoming the Blue.
You have to be mentally challenged to put in for that department.
It's another 7:30 a.m. workout for these Dallas Police Academy recruits.
Bro.
This
going to the ground
worse than ours.
Going to the ground on pavement?
On pavement.
Respect. I'll put some respect on that name.
Hey, at least they know where their officers are going to end up.
That's true.
On their backs on
But recruit and former teacher Peyton Seegers says the workouts are heating up.
They're definitely upping it. Yes, ma'am, but also a new class came in, so they're trying to show them what it's like.
Recruit Hernan Armendariz worked as a Houston firefighter before joining Class 400.
So found again Christian. He realized he was straight. God bless him.
Learned about pacing himself now a little more than halfway through the academy.
I think that's what's helped me the most is just take one day at a time.
He looks squared away.
You know, you try to be like, I have this on Monday, but we have this on Friday. Like, you're going to overwhelm yourself.
Recruit Athena Close decided to go into law enforcement as a second career.
All right, let's do it again.
She's also an active duty military member and has 2 teenage kids.
I turned 40 in
Yeah, we had
September,
one of those. She might have been one of the worst classmates we had. Top 5 at least.
I'll say 15-minute miles was my... That hurt me. I don't remember why that happened. She happened to be in my running group. I was pissed off about that. That I was like, I get it. Like, I don't expect to, like, for everyone to be super fast, or like you're gonna fall somewhere on the scale for everything, right?
No.
But I'm like,
it needs to be 12 or under.
But I'm like, dog,
we can't like 15. Like I'm walking faster than a 15.
I was 230 pounds doing 8-minute miles, right? Yeah. And I'm like, dog, you're like $120 tops, if that. Doing a 15
and in the military.
Mile, and in the military. I'm like, bro, get out of here.
Oh yes. Yeah. So
I'm not saying this is that lady. I had a bad experience.
If I can do it, you definitely can do it. Don't let the negativity stop you from doing
Agreed.
it.
I mean,
instructors teach the recruits the techniques of how to escape if a suspect pins them on the ground. The recruits believe
this looks better than what they were doing.
Not
Red
bad.
Man before, like just straight up Red Man. This is better than what they had before.
This is learning here on this mat will help them be prepared and
good.
ready for the dangers they'll face.
If she's wearing shoes on that
did
mat,
she have her shoes off?
I'm about to be pissed.
No, I think she was barefoot.
She better be. But respect that floor.
Which I'm not sure why they panned to her feet. But
Sussy wussy.
Pretty sure she was barefoot.
Let's see it. On Only Feet today.
There it is.
Oh,
Prepared and ready for the dangers they'll face on the streets.
I think it majorly prepares you. I think it's good to learn from like what you do wrong.
Free advice. No, it doesn't.
And being told this is what we've experienced out on the street from officers that have already had their time out on patrol and now are here teaching us what they've...
It wasn't terrible.
The suspect had their hands up, though.
So the other thing you got to think about here, right, is that...
A child could throw an adult off if
Yeah.
their hands are up in the air.
Yeah.
You have no balance.
But also, like, you're not like this left arm, or this left arm needs to be under that armpit and shoving, and then pinning that left wrist.
It was a good. Well, now that I'm looking at her feet,
it's an okay.
Keep going back. Keep going back. Her base is way too wide.
Yeah.
You bring your feet in and drive through your heels
teaching
more.
us what they've seen and what they've been through.
I think it gives us that confidence to go out there and.
Hey, at least they're working on concepts here, right? You don't want to be in guard. You don't want to be mounted. Here's how to get out of those situations. This is better than what they were getting before, for damn sure.
You know, face what we need to face.
Shout out to them.
So we can. At the end of the day, we have to go home to our families.
Class 400 also continues under new leadership.
I tell you what's sobering about Dallas PD's Academy Center, though. So we took our TCOL test there, and their hallway is lined with like 400 pictures of police officers, all of which have died in the line of duty. That's a sobering.
Yep.
Each one, their own picture, and it's the whole hallway. It's a big, like, college or high school length hallway, and that's all it is. And I'm like, that is kind of mega base that they at least do that.
Former Dallas Police Chief Eddie Garcia's departure last month.
His reputation is amazing, maybe throughout the state of Texas. But I also know that this department is heading into the right direction.
Class 400 is scheduled to graduate and hit the streets in March.
I'm looking forward to going out there and doing everything that I've learned so far in the academy. I'm just ready to be that voice for someone that doesn't have a voice, to speak for them and help them out.
I am ready to not answer a priority 1 call for 2 days. I'm glad. Okay, we're jaded, so I'm gonna take a half step back. I am happy and enthusiastic to see that there's young and less young people that are willing to approach the job with that level of optimism. I like that.
True.
We approached it the same way. We were these dumb people. What, now 7 years ago?
Oh, I was.
Ago? Yeah.
I was. Yeah, it was.
Full on dumb.
7, almost 8 years now.
Yeah.
No, I was all in, dude.
But
like,
all in. It wouldn't have taken a lot of research to realize some of the issues that DPD is facing. But I tell you what, if you want in, they'll take you. And if you're struggling to go, the biggest police department you can go find, go to them, and they'll take you, and you can go get. The only downside is you are likely going to pick up bad habits. Or you'll pick up cultural norms that are not going to translate anywhere else. Not answering a priority 1 call, not answering a priority 0 call, like a emergency call because there's just nobody there. That's weird. I think the sweet spot, like 100,000 people in a city, is like the sweet spot. I think for a police, you got just enough people that, like, the police department's reasonably sized so that you can have specialized units or whatever, but it's not so big.
I think if we put in the work here in the academy, physically and academically, and at home as well, I think in the end we'll walk that stage.
These law enforcement hopefuls will continue to push themselves and each other so they can graduate and become the newest class of Dallas police officers. In Dallas, Dawn White, CBS News.
Yeah, I don't know. Academy's just such a different ballgame than the job. You know? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if there's a good solution for that. DPD, I'll give y'all points. Y'all are trying. That's what matters. And they got a much higher hill to try to climb than not. Bill, you're muted in case you didn't want to be. Clairvoyant. Oh, Sarah's here. What's going on, Sarah? Claire. Oh my God, y'all need to chill. How badges are made. They're stamped out of a piece of metal. gonna assume this music might get us in trouble, so I'm gonna lower it a bit. It's kind of cool to watch, actually. Bill, did you keep your badge? I did.
Yes. My one with my badge number on it. I did.
I never ordered one with my badge number on it. I should have.
That was my carry badge.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I just had the one.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. It's like a how it's made deal. It's kind of neat how they do like the...
A lot of polishing.
Yeah, I bet.
It makes sense though, because they stay shiny for a
hot
long
minute.
time.
Yeah. I wonder if there's probably only a handful of companies that make these like genuine, because they have
probably less than 10.
Yeah. That's wild.
It's also impressive that the paint stays on through the
whole
polish
process. Yeah.
Process, yeah.
Very cool.
What's that say?
Upland?
Upland?
Police?
Huh.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Well, I guess we'll get we'll say society, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just dump it there. I ain't got nowhere else for it. Very cool. We're a buck 30. You're going to jail, son.
Your son at 132 miles an hour. Can you and another driver come get him? How old are you? You're 16.
Jail.
Whose car is this? Oh, your father. I need him here now. You understand? If you were 18, you'd be going to jail for reckless driving.
So
go now.
Take him at 16.
Take him to the juvenile center, dog. Come on now.
Yeah, you're just being lazy.
Like, I don't like lectures to begin with, right? But I especially don't like the lecture if you're not going to do your job on top of that. Like, come on now.
I called you guys out here for two main reasons. One, I want you to see it. 132 miles an hour.
That's
I had
gonna be on
a
the
kid
ticket.
about 8, 9, 10 years ago that I stopped in a brand new Mustang. And his parents were going through a divorce. They bought him this car and all this.
I'm not even going to stay for this lecture. Is this
who
PD?
cares?
Man.
Probably a trooper.
You know what? I'm going to say it is before I can be
Sounds like a
otherwise.
trooper.
State boys. Losing points. I'm going to take 5. You know what?
This device will save many lives. In America, they invented this clever attachment for pistols that makes the first shot less lethal. When the trigger is pulled, the bullet penetrates the projectile, reaching only 1/5 of its original speed. As this tool allows officers to fire without the risk of killing the criminal, and the best part is that it takes less than 2 seconds to attach. This genius device will...
That looks horrible.
One, why'd they shoot him in the kneecap?
Also, what happens if you shoot again after the projectile's gone? Does a bullet just come out?
Also, like...
Less lethal is a thing for a reason. Like, it's a whole separate device for a reason.
Because, like, what if in the motion of trying to apply the thing, like, you cook one off, right? Like, in your hand? Or you cook it off, like...
Yeah.
Or it doesn't mount on the slide correctly. Oh, this is a terrible idea. Like... I understand what they're... If they had, like, an underbarrel, like, thing for your pistol, I guess, like, where your light normally is, if it was, like, a beanbag there, maybe. Like, or a taser cartridge, maybe. But I don't like this idea, only because even with them being separate devices, we already have instances where people are like, taser, 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 drilling the dude in the chest. What goes on your use of force report here? You know, is it a deadly threat or not? I don't know.
Bless you.
Ooh,
bless you.
I get the sneezes.
The sneezes.
I'm gonna take some points from society here.
Yeah, because what would you call that?
There's too many things to go wrong with this. Way too many things that can go wrong. Also, like, what's your point of aim, point of impact shift?
Yeah.
Like, what if I hit him in the face with that on accident?
Yep.
I don't know. There's a lot that can go wrong here.
Imagine the face, but about 2 feet lower, just below your waist.
At 2. Anything.
That could do some, like, permanent damage.
Yeah, dog. I don't know, man. This is not a genius idea. Oh, this is us. Not a great idea. Done.
Accidentally pit maneuver the wrong suspect. Watch this.
Get your hands up! Get your hands up! No, you're running! That's not how it works! Hands up! We've got 40 bucks. Hands up now. Hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
If I randomly got pitted for no good reason, I'd be upset. I would.
I would too.
Legitimately be upset. Would I be at least civilly pressing charges? 1,000%. I ain't paying for the damage to my car. And likely in that case, you wouldn't anyways because the police are involved in the collision, right?
Yeah.
Oftentimes, and it's a weird trend, people will talk about being afraid of law enforcement, but do this at the same time.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Should that officer have pitted the wrong car? No. Is he going to get written up for pitting the wrong car? He should. Potentially even get days off because you're utilizing force against somebody that doesn't deserve it, right? Probably also pointing a gun at him right now, right? I'm all for disciplinary action here. I get it. You know how many cars I accidentally pitted that I wasn't supposed to? 0. Just I'm allowed to make criticisms if I've done the job and not fucked up that, right? That being said,
how many cars were we allowed to pit?
0. Actually, -1. That's how many cars we were allowed to pit. -1. I'll never understand the thought process because you'll see it. Well, I'm scared of y'all. I was like, but you're doing nothing to make me less nervous about you also. So, like, I don't know. This is weird.
Yeah. Put your hands up. I'm not telling you again. You've been driving 130 miles an hour. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Keep your hands up. Did I not just hand my hand out the window? I don't care. Just why the fuck am I running up these things? It's your fault. I don't know.
That's so funny.
You just did that for no reason. You know you did. That's what's being quiet. Don't run. Why the fuck am I running up these things? It's your fault. I don't know. Who the fuck am I running up these things?
It's respect. I'm gonna give some points to
also,
suspects.
Like, when are we gonna get him out of the car?
No shit, never.
Like, what are we doing?
I'm gonna say due to there being no body cam, this was a state boy.
Probably, yeah.
We're taking some points. Actually, I'm gonna take more because he pitted someone he was not supposed to.
Yeah, that's.
He was at 13. That puts him at 8. Dumb. Okay, let's see it.
I am
accurate.
Yeah, if you're going to drive your lawnmower on the streets, you need to have the proper lighting. You need some brake lights attached to it. Yeah, you can go down to the Ace Hardware. They got some magnetic lights you can attach to the back. It's pretty easy.
Thank you so much. Am I let off with a warning today?
You sure are.
You have a blessed day. God bless your family. God bless your kids.
God bless America.
That's painfully accurate. Nobody ever told me God bless you. One of our mutual classmates who went to a different agency said that he would get thanked all the time for his service on traffic stops. He said it bothered him for the first 2 years. He said he assumed everyone was being sarcastic. And then he realized people meant it. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Wow.
Officer, is there a problem?
First off, I'm not an officer. I'm a trooper. Patrol.
There it is.
The most elite of the elite. You were going 10 over.
Not with those man titties. You're not.
No. Why?
May I ask why you were going lights and sirens 120 miles per hour to Whataburger? I don't think it's any different. What I was doing was not that bad.
Get out of the car.
I'm going to let you off with a verbal warning.
Well,
You're very lucky. Have a nice day.
Very
You too, officer. Are you not going to do like a city cop skit?
It's easy to make fun of like other people, but city cops are like well-rounded. Like I literally can't think of something that they do that would be like even remotely funny. Like we're just well-trained and just do.
Okay, never mind.
If it was a city cop one that I was going to make fun of, I'd be like, what's probable cause?
I could think of a few things.
I stopped you because
I smell weed.
I smell weed. That'd have been it right there. I smell weed. You been drinking tonight? Where are you coming from? No, worse. Go ahead and send me 3 units code. Stupid. We're going to take some points from media for an inaccurate skit. The deputy one was funny. Yeah, I'm going to take points.
Yeah.
No city cop one. I have complaints. And since he was a city cop that refused to give himself criticism, we're going to take one.
The videos are jolting. Wrong-way drivers putting lives at risk. And then Utah police steering into them.
Let's go.
Yeah, crazy.
The troopers, deputies, officers, called heroic.
For the most part, those have been successful in not having a lot of injuries.
But unlike other tactics, these haven't been tested elsewhere. One Utah driver has died, and policing experts wonder if it's creating more risk than it's preventing.
My God, some officer's done this twice?
I'm Fox 13 investigative reporter Nate Carlisle. We asked, who are these wrong-way drivers, and is crashing into them the safest option?
What's the other option, though?
AC-130 gunship?
Hell yeah. Here for
I mean, you know.
RPG?
Yeah, RPG.
Start this story with car crashes.
That was a good one.
And a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
We compiled a list of a dozen times in the last 6.5 years that Utah law enforcement decided to stop a wrong-way driver.
12 times in 6 years for an entire state? Why is this even a story?
Well, it is Utah.
Yeah, I guess
by steering their own police cars.
A lot of Mormons, so there's not a lot of
the front end or the side.
Truck drivers,
None of
you know.
those 12 cases involve people.
Now that's a traffic stop.
Some drivers were drunk.
Agreed.
But others were confused or having a medical crisis.
Too bad.
It's one of the most dangerous situations we can come up with.
Colonel Mike Rapich commands the Utah Highway Patrol.
Why is it a honey, like a beehive? It's like the cartoonish looking beehive too.
There's high speeds involved.
His troopers steered into wrong-way drivers in 7 of those 12 cases. They were trying to prevent these. Utah recorded about 30 deaths due to wrong-way drivers in the last 5 years.
And you're talking about the most violent and horrible collision that you can possibly imagine. We didn't identify that there were really any training out there, so we did that. We actually dug in with our training division, and they developed a training curriculum that we call the wrong-way driver intercept technique.
When troopers are notified of a wrong-way driver, the training calls for them to close the freeway on-ramps so no more cars can enter.
Right.
And to stop traffic from traveling toward the errant driver. Then, if a trooper deems it safe, he or she can drive the wrong way too, until they get behind the driver, strike him on a rear quarter panel, and force the driver off the road. But all that requires time and manpower. So, if a trooper doesn't think the safer options are feasible, he or she is authorized to just steer into the...
Let's go!
Huge liability of the officer's safety, of course.
Is this an attorney? Is it a professor? Shut your mouth.
State University and John Gross at the University of Wisconsin.
Don't care.
This tactic, I've never heard of a department.
Professor, shut your mouth.
Actors using a
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Any of the 12 collisions. The only death was in December. A state trooper steered into and killed Natalie Munchkasang. She was driving south in a northbound lane of Interstate 15 in Orem. Munchkasang, a mother of 3, had been at bars earlier in the day. She appeared intoxicated, according to a search warrant. Munchkasang also had a friend in the car. When reached by phone, that friend declined an interview. She said she'd suffered a broken leg and a brain injury in the crash. A search warrant says the trooper also suffered a broken leg.
Yeah.
In all, 7 of the 12 drivers we told you about were drunk. The 5 who weren't intoxicated either had physical or mental health problems that contributed, or they made a mistake, like this July crash with a Summit County deputy in Park City.
Dude, if you made a mistake, you would pull over and turn around.
That's kind of my point. Now, do I think it's a good tactic? Absolutely not. Like, it's just like the worst case. It's kind of like, right, if shooting when you have a bad backstop, right, or hostage shots, like a terrible idea. If I don't have any way, like let's say I was out of ammunition and I just had to save somebody, would I dive on top of a person to at least put my ballistic vest between me and them? Sure. Plenty of different things you can do. There are often times where you're going to be asked to take the less safe route. Doing a building search, it's not safe. You know why? I'm going to have a flashlight on and be yelling, oh, by the way, the police are here. Like, you go ahead and hide in the corner and pop me when I go around the corner. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Do I understand their appalled reaction to the idea of going in front? And obviously there's the personal liability that the officers take in their own hands to potentially get hurt or killed themselves. But, 0 questions were likely raised. I skipped it because I didn't want to hear what they had to say because they're dumb. They're getting paid to get on camera to talk about it like they're some sort of subject matter expert. They will never be asked to make that decision for somebody. And if you could imagine, if you were a family just minding your own business, driving the correct way, participating in commerce, right? Wouldn't you like for the person who gets paid to risk their lives and has a really nice insurance policy that if they die, their family's taken care of and all that nine, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like that person to at least try rather than you try to tank that hit? You figure it out really quickly. When all of the other cars are driving the opposite direction of you, you figure it out.
Yeah.
And just park it. If you're nervous, park it and call 911. Or take a Texit. Other solutions other than continuing to drive in the wrong way into traffic. I don't know, dog. I have beef with them being like, oh, I can't believe they would do. You're going to ask firefighters to walk into a burning building. You know, you're going to ask some poor EOD tech to touch the ticking time bomb. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to ask officers to take unreasonable risk. 100%. It's going to happen eventually. Active shooter protection. We were mad at Uvalde for not taking an unreasonable risk. Why? Because there's other people depending on you to do it. This is the dumbest.
Yeah, I don't know what the better option is unless you're going to have a specific vehicle. Like, unless you have an old Bearcat.
Yeah, well, that might work.
That you're going to have just on call for wrong way drivers.
Stay in school.
I'm gonna be muted for a minute.
You're good.
I gotta
I'm gonna be
find
nice.
my little SD card thing so I can
start uploading.
Get that stuff to Juan.
Let's go. This is a dumb story. We're gonna take some from society for thinking that, for like being upset that there's officers willing to go and do that. I get it. Like, hey, pitting, I totally understand. Because pitting, there's less risk to the officer, and like the likelihood that you kill the person that's fleeing in a vehicle, right? They're technically driving the right way. They're not risking too many other people for the most part. I totally get that. I've even criticized the stupid little metal ball bearing in front of your pistol thing. I do agree that we should minimize the risk at all costs, but like when you're risking other people's lives, we're going to ask you to do it. It sucks. It's a terrible short stick that you're getting into, but yeah. I don't know. I had beef with the, just like, they're like, I can't believe they would. You wouldn't understand because you've never had to take the risk. You've never had to put someone else's life before your own, and it shows. Let's see it.
Become a member of the NYPD.
Well, in our ongoing series in search of photojournalist Mauro Brutoli and editor Marilyn Salloway are giving us an exclusive look inside the New York City Police Academy.
Oh, it's a two-part story? Emo, I'm sorry. You're going to have to give us the spark notes. It pissed me off to watch people be like, oh, my God. I like the pit technique. If you can get behind them and pit them, that's probably a better idea. But, I don't know. Give us the spark notes, Emu. I skipped the second one.
Instructors, inspect your companies.
Columns of 2 from the right, forward, march.
Company is set. All right, good morning, company. Good morning.
He did say 10 hut. I have no idea why or what that means. It's attention is technically the order that's given when you're calling people to attention. 10 hut is not just not correct. Factually incorrect. I saw the comment. I thought I heard the same thing and I didn't think anything of it. He's like, wait, what did he say?
Today we're going to talk a little bit about neighborhood policing, why it's important to have community ties.
To build trust.
To build trust.
It helps with cooperation as far as investigation purposes go.
So community relations helps us solve crime.
It gives us a better relationship with the people.
Good morning, company.
Good morning, sir.
All right, good deal. Today we're going to talk about weapons. So a deadly weapon. Okay, you want to write this down. Any loaded weapon.
I like how he said any loaded weapon. I'm just going to know by looking at it. It's like in direct conflict of like regular firearm safety training. Like,
yeah.
Just by looking at it, I know. I mean, I guess if there was like a chamber flag, I guess like that's the most likelihood that you could know by looking at it, but that seems stupid. It's a corruption. Yeah, definitely one in the chamber is a thing. There's a lot of cadets of recruits. I'm getting to...
Now.
Bro, my boy is getting deep into this. I'm a pretty old bastard, right? But I'm getting a little lower than this guy. Like, my fitness days, like my most in shape days are behind me, and I'm okay with that. I'm getting lower than this. I'm getting lower than this. I'm about to move my camera just to show, like, there, you are capable of getting into a deeper... The instructors are at least doing it right. I respect it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Down. Up.
That was a decent squad over there.
1,
I don't know what the point of this. Oh, okay. Let's see what we're doing.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That was a punishment, is my guess. One rule in NYPD. That's funny. Squirtle, you're out of pocket today.
Sound off!
Today, we're going to be doing several scenarios. We're going to be working in teams of two, you know, like how you would on patrol.
Must be nice.
Do you know what time the bus is coming? The bus?
Hi, I'm Officer Fowler. Got a couple of
Bus.
You looking for the bus?
The recruits are responding to the scenario village for a call of a female who's acting erratic at the bus stop. Once they arrive at the location, they actually realize that they're dealing with a person who has autism. Bus, 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 bus. They establish.
We got pretty good, like, mental health training as far as identifying people. Having run into people with autism in the real world, right? I had to actually work a car accident with somebody that had pretty severe autism. They didn't do this. All I'm saying is this is a pretty extreme example of autism.
A connection with the deli owner, and he then informs the officers that he knows the female's mother. So they're able to get an address.
They live like 3 blocks down that way.
And making contact with the mother, they're able to safely return the female back to her house.
Okay, boy, showing around.
This
I'm
dumb.
New York City Police.
No, I'm not watching that again. I'll give him 1 whole point.
Did they get any training beforehand though, or were they just supposed to know what to do?
That's my other issue with a lot of those. Like, maybe they probably had some sort of training module before. I could imagine like there's like New York probably has very similar like training standards to TCOL, where like there's a very specific method of like presentation, instruction, demonstration, and then like the recruit actually does it.
The one we've carried for quite some time, up until about a year ago, Scott, was the X26.
Dog, bringing it back. We had the X26. This is exactly the ones we had, I think.
And
I thought we had the X23.
Had a cartridge with
yeah, look,
two
this is the exact same
probes in it, and the 2 probes came out of here and were energized, and you would just replace these cartridges.
Maybe that was
that's
ours.
what I'm saying.
The next
pretty sure it was the X26
iteration.
Because we also had
The
this
holster
exact
looks
same
the
holster.
exact same. Yeah.
Was the Taser 7, which we've been using, and it was an advancement over this one as well in terms of accuracy.
Well, hold on. I was issued it. I didn't use that for shit. So let me take it back. It wouldn't have mattered what they gave me. So
I never deployed my Taser except for in-service training.
Yeah, I only did it once in the wild, and I was in field training, and never again. That was the one time, and I felt dumb for doing it.
And the number of deployments, but it also shot out 2 programs.
I'll spit my drink out.
One for closer range, and then one for further out range. So most recently, the Taser 10 has been put on the market, and
like the
Florence County Sheriff's
MG42 of
Office,
tasers.
first agency in the state of South Carolina to deploy Taser 10. It's a major evolution in the technology of the Taser weapon, and so you just saw it demonstrated. The records keeping that is generated by this and transmitted to a cloud, and it creates a report, is amazing. It tracks every motion of the weapon.
Did you ever get in trouble for not spark testing your Taser?
Nope.
I got a lecture for that.
Because I did it before every shift.
So I would do it, and I did it before every shift all the time, and then for some odd reason, I just stopped. And I didn't think about it at all.
Yeah. I stopped when I came up to your side of town.
That's what I mean. And yeah, I had to go in. I don't remember what I did. If I broke it.
My supervisors were worried about police work, not spark testing tasers.
I had one that, bro.
Yeah. You had two, actually. I think.
Oh, I take it all back. I had two that just could not have been further away.
You had one great one.
I think
you had
I
more
had
than
like
one great one.
I had about 2.5 really good supervisors.
You had one great one while I worked on that side of town with you.
But
then you also had one.
I'd have been a cop for a lot longer, dog. If it had not been for supervision, that was a bad time. I'm just gonna leave that neutral. It was a demo. I can't be that mad.
At 11, gun owners who have taken steps to treat their addiction and are in active recovery are getting denied concealed carry permits by the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office. And it's costing some of them thousands of dollars to fight the illegal denials in court.
In WCNC Charlotte's Nate Morabito discovered the Sheriff's Office has a long-standing system in place preventing people living in sobriety from legally concealing their guns when in public.
Sounds illegal.
The law.
You can see that he's been shot up a few times.
Chris Cranston has found himself...
Let me get a couple of earplugs in here.
...on all sides of it.
The Second Amendment's a great equalizer.
Throughout his life.
Unfortunately, I made some bad decisions when I was a teenager, and I lost my rights.
Which explains why.
Fire in the hole.
He's so...
Yeah. All right. Let's calm down with that. Fire in the hole.
Tent hut. Fire in the hole.
I'm taking my dogs outside for this.
It's
one.
fine. It's fine. I'll see.
I see. Tell it's gonna piss me off.
I'll see when you get back.
So fired up about protecting.
You ready for one more round?
His family and what the Constitution guarantees.
Everybody clear?
Where do they find these people?
To be clear, some of his passion.
His property manager killed him and buried him in the desert.
Comes.
Shot him with a shotgun.
From pain.
Only brother. His birthday was the 7th. He would have been 50 years old.
In the years after his brother's murder, for his own protection, Cranston hired an attorney to restore his gun rights. But then the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office came knocking.
On Easter weekend, Saturday night, unannounced.
When you apply for a gun permit, you give the Sheriff's Office the right to review your mental health history. Under the law, if you're found to be an unlawful user
I have no
or addicted
regrets.
to any controlled substance, you cannot get a gun permit.
I had told him about some of the different things I was trying to use to get to sleep, and I told him I had tried the CBD.
Within Cranston...
Millennial, I should know better, but I don't know.
records, a nurse noted he smoked marijuana nightly more than a year prior. The basis for the sheriff's office to try and revoke his permits.
It was like, the tyrants are here.
His case is a snapshot of a broader problem. People misclassified by the sheriff's office. A WCNC Charlotte investigation found, in many other cases, people who sought treatment for addiction years and even decades ago are getting punished for their past, even though they're sober today.
This is every denial.
Denial records obtained by WCNC Charlotte show the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office has cited unlawful use or addiction as cause for denials in hundreds of cases spanning the last 2 sheriffs.
I see a pattern here.
Attorney Ron Shook has successfully fought the current sheriff on Second Amendment cases.
I only work with people that I'm convinced are going to be safe to the community.
He says several of those clients can't speak for themselves publicly because they attend Alcoholics Anonymous.
I have represented many individuals, including veterans, who are in recovery, have been in recovery for years, haven't touched a substance in years, and are still being denied.
This sheriff's office internal document makes it clear. If someone has attended AA, NA, or detox, no matter the year, employees should deny them.
This issue is a really personal one to me. My mother's an addict, and I grew up going to AA and playing with the children in the rooms, as we call them. So I understand addiction.
Not only does Shook believe in redemption, he says federal law supports that too, defining an addict as someone who's remained a habitual user endangering others or has lost the power of self-control.
Nate Morabito, WCNC Charlotte.
You know exactly the never camera-shy sheriff initially refused to answer our questions on camera.
Why I want to talk to you?
I'm talking to you now. So after weeks of trying to convince him otherwise, we let his office know, while not our preference, we intended to interview him in a public setting.
So tell me, why are you all consistently denying concealed carry permits
It is a process.
for people in active recovery?
It is a process of appeal process. They have a time to appeal.
It costs thousands of dollars to appeal.
That's a process.
So
it's a process.
You're putting the responsibility on those people.
No, that's the responsibility of their rights.
They are in active recovery, some people for 30 years, and you're denying them.
I deny them?
Your office is denying them. How is that fair?
Process of the judicial system. Process of the
But the
judicial
process
system.
starts with you. Sheriff Gary McFadden told us his department's process is a carryover from past sheriffs.
The law defines an addict as a habitual user who endangers the public or has lost the power of self-control.
And insisted his office is always bound by the law.
I would grant people freedom if I could, but the law says differently.
I just read you the law.
Right.
If someone is not
people's status, unless it's currently in the current iteration of how we're interpreting the Second Amendment, unless it's age related or they've committed some sort of violent felony. And I even have my feelings about felons being able to possess guns, mostly because I think once you've done your sentence and once you've been in compliance with your like probate court or any of that stuff, once you've done that, you shouldn't maintain a status that restricts you. If you're able to be out in the public and free and doing whatever, you should regain a lot of those status. Things that would be afforded to anybody. What I hate is this guy's apathy for the issue. Like, it is your job to care because you are technically in the way of this stuff. And I don't know. He's got a very arrogant air about him. Shout out to media for doing it. I'll give them some points back. I just hate his apathetic approach to this. He's like, oh, it's just a process that costs thousands of dollars. Like, when a gun doesn't cost that, but like, I'm going to restrict your access to something. What if this was medication or whatever? I don't know. I have beef, but you know, people going to do that. Howard County.
Good boy here. Drago here.
Broward.
Stellan.
Live. Who's? I'm Deputy Adele Romero. I'm part of the Patrol Canine Unit. This is Zito. Zito is 7 years old. He's a Dutch Shepherd, and he's been my partner since 2015. We provide assistance to Road Patrol or any specialized units that need our assistance. Most of that entails subjects that are usually armed or have committed some kind of a felony. Something where it's dangerous enough that a canine will actually be a de-escalation tool. Just by being on scene in a lot of these scenes, it de-escalates the situation. When people see a canine or a dog, they're more likely to surrender and they're more likely to comply, as opposed to if they just see a deputy and they feel that they can either get away or they can fight their way through. So every patrol canine handler goes to about a 3-month school. A lot of that entails bonding with the dog. Prior to even the dog learning the commands or learning what their job is, we have to bond with them, and we have to build that relationship between the two of us.
That's a good boy, Baba. Yeah, that good boy. That's a good boy.
I actually have 3 children at home. 2 of my sons are actually autistic, and he's part of the family. They play with him. He knows when to turn it off. He knows when.
You think one of those kids is this dog that's autistic?
It's time to relax at home.
You know what I mean? He's referring to the dog as one of those kids.
Time to come home, come to work and work.
I'm Sergeant Emmanuel Kutsofius. I oversee the Broward Sheriff's Office Canine Unit and the disciplines of Patrol Canine and Bloodhound. So the Broward Sheriff's Office Canine Unit is a reactive unit. We are called to scenes when Road Patrol or other units need assistance locating a subject who is either hiding or actively fleeing arrest. The dog will pick up the freshest scent from the ground, such as broken vegetation or the rubber from the soles of the shoes, and the subject himself, sweat, that skin cells, so on and so forth. The dog does not know race, does not know gender, height, weight.
You don't say.
Well, I wouldn't say that dogs don't know some of those things.
I had a racist ass Shih Tzu growing up. we were living in apartments when I was a kid, and so you have apartments. There's maintenance people that come out. The like AC guy, she did not like that man's demographic.
Yeah.
Anything like that, they go based on that scent and that scent alone. We ask information such as severity of crime, the description of the subject, and the last direction of travel. Scenario, once we find a subject, okay, and we recognize the behavior change in the dog, what we'll do is we'll give
2024 disclaimer.
Broward Sheriff's Office K-9, surrender. You're under arrest or release the police dog. You will be bit.
Oh, this is not the one, dog. Whoa.
At times, subjects dictate what's going to happen.
Like the molars on shepherds always freak me out a bit. Like, oh, they're just.
If a use of force is utilized, and to ensure the safety of the handler, and to ensure that the subject's not going to continue to flee and pose a danger
to
what
would be terrifying?
Citizens in Broward County, the dog will be sent
like a canine, but it's like a bobcat. Or like a mountain lion, you know, like there's no getting away from it no matter what you do.
Yeah, good luck stopping it too.
Broward Sheriff's Office K-9, surrender. You're under arrest. Open the door with your hands where I can see them, or I'm going to send the dog.
Once the subject is apprehended and complies with all orders, the dog is removed immediately.
I bet you all these guys get shoulder problems by the end of this.
Yeah.
And then he's taken into custody. Medical services is called.
Bro, this dog was sweeping the leg, dog. Look.
Immediately.
Look, he pins the leg.
And then he's taken into custody.
Medical
services
smart,
is
actually.
called
What a good dog.
to render aid for the subject on scene.
Always
and then
render aid.
later he's
Bro,
taken
the second
to
you get deployed
the
EMS
hospital
stages.
for our standing operating procedures. Once that subject is medically cleared, he's then transported to the jail to face the charges.
Oh, I had a good boy. You found him, buddy. Yeah, you found it, boy. You found him. Had a boy.
I'm with Dan.
My name is Deputy Leonard
Dan said,
Smith.
stop right there. I'll let my dog do my job.
100%.
I'm part of our BSO Criminal Apprehension Unit, Patrol K-9, and this is my partner, Dingo. I've had for approximately 4.5 years. Good boy, buddy. Good boy, Dingo. As if a person was surrendering, and the K-9 had been sent to apprehend that suspect, that gives me the ability to call him back to me without causing any use of force to the person that's fleeing or that's now surrendering.
If the dog is going for an apprehension and at some point something
eyebrows.
Down. Down. Good boy.
It's all about the dog. The dog will
find.
Where's dogs? Here you go. Good boys. We give them 25 for being good dogs. I'm still of the mind that if I was the dictator of policy for policing, I'd probably be stripping all canine units outside of sniffing dogs. And bomb sniffing dogs, not drug sniffing dogs, like bomb sniffing dogs. You might do cadaver dogs for searches and stuff like that, but it would be a geo that I'm not sending a dog in for apprehension. I don't think it's fair to the suspect. I definitely don't think it's fair to the dog, more importantly. And if I'm willing to let an officer get hurt, let it be a person that can consent to the tactics that are being employed, that they're employing, right? The dog doesn't get to pick. If it's told to go, it's going to go.
It doesn't know. Like,
I don't know.
You're could be sending it to its death.
If all those 2024 disclaimers are accurate, if he doesn't know age or weight, he also doesn't know if they're armed or not. So,
yep.
North Park. What's going on here?
He's outside fighting still. I got this. I'll get this.
Poor guys. Poor guys. Like, I'm on a part time. What am I doing?
Great. Come on, man.
Tipped over the ashtray.
Legal fee.
Sure didn't.
If they can't even afford it.
They tried to do a dash and grab, didn't work.
When they can't, guess what happens?
And then we got. He's right. You ain't got to. You just got to think sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Really need to do that. That's what happens when you.
The guy's all talking trash. Multi-agency. I'll give them 5 points, and then I'll give shout out for doing your job.
Yeah.
No lectures. I'm not gonna give it to society. They didn't help. Indiana State Police.
Throughout the state of Indiana, first responders and other.
Just looking at this right here, I'm a no. Solid no. I'm good.
Why do you think I was never a cop in Michigan?
Dog, I am good. I went to Michigan once with Bill, and we went in the middle of the summer, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it's great in the summer,
but
it really is.
This is a no for me, dog.
Other public employees working on roadside emergencies are struck by motorists while assisting other vehicles.
Good time.
The Indiana State Police reports that in 2023 alone, 52 of their patrol cars were struck by other vehicles while responding to these emergencies. And so far in 2024, motorists have struck 41 ISP cruisers. The Indiana State Police wants to remind the public that these incidents are
a trooper got caught with a tint meter. Accurate.
Preventable.
Who's shocked?
And during First Responder Safety Week, they urge you to do your part. So when you are driving and see emergency lighting ahead of you, please slow down and help save a life. This message has been brought to you by the Indiana State Police.
I
mean, it should be pretty common sense, even if it's not snowy roads, right?
Yeah.
Like,
we're gonna take some from society for hitting some patrol cars.
That's true.
Tit
meter.
Shadow
No,
of
Emu,
American drug.
I don't think he was measuring the opacity of
Emu heard what she
titties.
wanted to. She heard exactly.
Warriors is long, but tonight's I-Team special leans forward to 2025 BC, beyond Chapo. In Mexico, the drug cartels now control more than a third of that entire nation. In Chicago, cartels enlist gangs to control streets and lock down neighborhoods citywide, poisoning another generation and leaving taxpayers to fund America's longest war ever, the war on drugs, now more than 50 years old.
Oh, God.
That was the most hyperbolic series of comments I've ever heard in my life.
DA, please search.
Also, a solid sin for a pistol light on a rifle. Hold on. Where are the feds?
What do you expect? It's a rock river, isn't it?
I think you're right, actually. That is actually.
Open the door. It is a domestic war underway since Vietnam overseas.
Damn, that's rough.
Stakes higher at home, longer duration, government programs even
It's that
costlier.
old shitty. What are those
Now
things?
it's the Drug Enforcement Administration fighting the fight. In 2015, DEA subduing the world's most prolific drug lord, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. But his
They were given El Chapo.
100%.
They were like, here, take him.
Yeah.
El Chapo was sold out. I'm not saying the guy didn't need to get apprehended, but the DEA is acting like they did that by themselves.
His Sinaloa cartel raged on.
Fucking like it's
And on the
a
front
Indiana
line, so
drivers
did
be
DEA's
stupid.
special response team in our backyards, running up against drug dealers with shoulder-launched rockets and cartel operatives with full basement labs.
Through the conflicts that we had overseas, a lot of lessons were learned in the military, so we were able to modify that into what we do here.
Police Department search warrant! The I-Team embedded with this SRT squad, drilling on potentially dangerous drug busts, training to deal with high-powered rapid-fire weapons. Special Agent Chris Gear heading up sessions at the Multi-Agency Academic Cooperative, or MAC, a non-profit first responder training
terrible.
facility tucked away in
Projector.
Valparaiso, Indiana.
hated those.
The campus offering a
So
safe
bad.
space to run through worst-case scenarios.
For SRT to get involved, there has to be a threat matrix, so we're only going after the most violent, people with a history of gun use, histories of resisting the police.
I'm going to set up here on this
SRT is DEA's elite force, this group serving Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin. operators trained in surprise entry tactics, weapon systems, and defensive strategies. The threats
long dong
constantly
there.
evolving. Weapons that the people you're going after
What's this patch?
may have. That has certainly changed over the last decade, has it not?
It's drastically changed.
Well, he's got an ATAC little setup here. It's kind of cool. They're a little drippy.
There's switches on Glocks now to make them fully automatic, and there's other threats of that nature.
Recently, SRT in Wisconsin executing a warrant targeting this military-grade portable rocket.
The likelihood that still has a rocket in it's incredibly low. Like, I'm not going to say 0.
Yeah.
But it's like 0.5%, maybe less.
Offered, according to authorities, as
single-use
payment
things.
for pounds of methamphetamine. And a major drug bust in South Bend,
Golly.
Indiana, unearthing an arsenal, cash, and an illegal...
I hate it when they say this. Hold on. Let's go back. Ruger 1022. Probably a legit, like, what was an A1? Or an A2?
Yeah.
Like, probably like I bet you know what this is. This is probably either DPMS or...
Looks like DPMS.
Bushmaster. If
It also
this is
kind of looks
goated.
like it's parted together.
Yeah, this is...
Because look at the lower.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
It's like a
this is
different
something
color.
weird. This AK is legit. It's got the dong on it.
Yeah.
But this is a 22.
illegal fentanyl pill operation in a home basement. Feds
That's legit.
say the warrants were executed safely and arrests made in both cases. But a major focus of this team is the international illicit drug pipeline.
Who's controlling the overseas markets to bring the dope into the States? And then once it's here, how to neutralize that level of player more than...
To be fair, and I will say this about some of these like SWAT operators or like high-risk task force, like HRT and stuff like that, in their career, they will run way more operations than somebody that has a SEAL team career.
Also, if we're being totally honest, 98% of that team is made up of former SF.
I was going to say the same thing. That was going to be my second caveat. I was like, they typically, because the problem with...
They get tired of deploying overseas, and they would just rather do shit at home.
Because the issue with the military in general is that it is not body friendly, because you're going to get deployed where you're going to be stuck outside for multiple days at a time. So you're having to carry hundreds of pounds worth of equipment with you the whole time. And so you're carrying like a ruck and all this dumb stuff. You're getting out of helicopters, like all things that are bad for your body.
It's not equipment that looks as nice as...
No, hell no. Bro,
What those dudes are running around in.
And so, like, you'll get a lot of those guys that still have, like, they still got it, but they're trying to keep their knees and their backs and their hips and whatever. So they'll roll out to SWAT. What makes SWAT easier to do on the body is you're not jumping out of a helicopter. You're not parachuting in. You're not having to carry day packs. Or everything, you get deployed, you do your thing, you go home every single time. Now you'll do a lot of operations. Like they'll be doing stuff daily for years. Yeah, it's wild. Like you'll have likely,
and it is not as tactically advanced.
Yeah, I agree.
But like, it's just different.
Had-
I don't even think you can put those two things in the same category.
It's a very different. You don't get airships. You don't get F-16s as a SWAT team. Now you're also not dealing with Al Qaeda, right? You're not getting Osama bin Laden. You're not getting grenades thrown at you. It's a very that's kind of like comparing.
You know who I think probably has it the worst right now is Bortak.
Yes, I would say Bortak.
Like, that team, that specialized unit of people, dude, they have to be. It's got to be so rough.
I could see them. I could see there are probably also some like DOJ detachments there. I think Bortak is DOJ, but those
Bortak's
guys,
just tactical border patrol. You have to be border patrol
time, dude,
to even get into Bortak.
That is a bad time.
Yeah,
you're working there. That I totally believe, and you could even see it, like even in like major cities when civil unrest happens. Like
Dylan said, Bortak might get F-16.
Hey, Here soon, they might.
You know what? I bet they'd rather have choppers. Like
I'd rather have a chopper. Yeah, dude. If I could have
like
an
a mini
Apache
bird or an Apache,
bro, that'd be
that
goated.
thing just shows up.
Oof. Oh, dude, or an A10.
Yeah. Oh,
it's just as a threat.
A10s just flying over the rivers.
You're like, yeah, that one truck out in the middle of the field out there. Make it go bye-bye.
Just shoot into the water just so you can hear the noise from miles away.
An H6, they might need it, but it's just a very different, like, because I know this because I work with, ironically, special operations people now and instructors, and a lot of them said, he's like, it was really cool 3 months at a time, and then it would be really boring. He's like, it would be months of training. And he's like, the training's great, and you're staying in shape, and you're spooling up for something, but then it'd be like, I'm just kidding, we got pulled for something, and like, it's also just not body friendly. Like, you cannot do it. It's very rare that you'll get a guy that'll be in the special operations community past 10 years. Like, 10 years is old. Like, you're old. You get to 15 years that you've spent in that specific type of unit, like that's rough, especially if you're active the whole time. And you didn't get injured
I would be
for
impressed.
a certain amount of time or anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd be impressed if you made it 15 years and you were still considered deployable in SF.
Because, like, those guys almost
you'd have to
universally
be so
get
lucky
shot.
with injuries.
You know,
and,
almost universally get blown up or stabbed or something bad. And they're injuries that'll take you out for a while.
Super lucky.
Yeah. So that's more versus, and again, that is where there's a big delineation in SWAT. You're just oftentimes not interacting with something that's going to be that dangerous to you. It's going to be dangerous to one of y'all, but not the group. Versus, like, an IED, I don't care how cool you are. You know, like, no training or protective equipment in the world is going to save you from that.
You can't take away the fact that you have such different rules of engagement for, like, local SWAT than you do.
We got offended when they were doing suppressive fire. I was like, you're doing what? Like, that's, which would be kosher for an infantry guy. Anybody that's a combat veteran has likely participated in blindly shooting in that direction. That mountain shot at us, we shoot back at that mountain. You know what I mean? Like, that town shot at us, just shoot back at it. Like, if you ever look at any of it, like, what is it, Funker 530 or whatever it is? Any of that footage, almost all of it's like, I'm going to shoot generally that way. And I was like, bro, you're talking prison here, like, for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you definitely have your hands tied in a different way.
Same thing. Like, we talked about this with room
all
clearing.
hard.
Yeah, it's all hard. I don't want to say that any of it's easy, but there's like a weird. I always find it odd when they get compared because it's very different. Yeah. They're different kinds of hard.
Your street dealers.
These new DEA intelligence reports obtained tonight by the I-Team describe an opioid threat that remains dire and is of grave concern. As the I-Team has reported in
because I need funding.
recent years, this intel cites a majority of illicit sales by two cartels, Sinaloa and the New Generation, with Chicago a mega hub for both, peddling Mexican fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, and
I'm not saying fentanyl is not coming out of Mexico, but let's be honest.
It is.
But most of it's coming from China.
Yeah, but where did China send it?
Oh, that's true.
They sent it to Mexico, and then it gets funneled up.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. That's fair. I'll take it.
Cocaine.
In some ways, you could say it's sort of a game of cat and mouse. And, you know, the drug markets have changed dramatically. The drugs that people are consuming have changed dramatically.
Robert gets it.
What?
Bro, being able to ask for artillery has got to be cool.
Political science professor?
Was he's commenting on this? Dumb.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Look at that. Look at that Tier 1 concealed sticker on that water bottle.
Oh, yeah. My
Best
dog.
holster in the game.
My dog.
Law enforcement not easy to detect.
Fatal ODs falling 14.5% from June of last year to this past.
Bro, talk about fatal ODs. Bill was there for the most romantic OD I've ever seen in my life. I'll give some points to Fed Boys. Why not? I'm gonna give them an even. I'm just gonna give them 4. But yeah, good time. That's a fun story. You were shadowing, right? Because that was on North. That was before you got up there.
I was in Narcs.
God, what a good time. Me and your former roommate were the ones that found him. We both walked in like, what the fuck? It was so funny.
Yeah, I remember her telling me about it, and then
it's so funny.
We went and did a follow-up less than a week after you guys were out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they got kicked out of the house or what was going on, but like they were clearly moving out of that house.
Yeah, I think they were renting or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had to show up, and I had to wear like face mask and everything because I was shadowing.
Yeah.
It was that opened my eyes to
I bet
narcotics a little
I
bit.
bet. That's
the unit. I mean,
no, that's what I mean.
Was,
I had a lot of respect for a lot of the officers we worked for, and a lot of the specialized units were actually pretty good. But
yeah,
that was not a specialized unit I had any interest in working with or for. They were.
And I'm
also,
glad I did my.
Oh, it's cool. You have an experience I never got.
Glad I did my 2 weeks with them.
Yeah.
But
it
definitely pushed me more towards gangs. Like gangs became my.
That was a
goal.
Cool group of dudes too.
Yeah.
They are narcotics. At least when they operated on my side of town.
Yeah.
Notorious for you just take them to the jail, do the rest of it. And then you're at the jail and you're like, I need an affidavit. And then you're stuck. You're held hostage there. You can't let them go. And I'm like, I'm about to. Like, I'm thinking I'm about to. Like, I got sergeants calling me. What are you doing at the station with someone in your car? And I'm
Dude, it was not.
Call that person. I hate it.
So imagine that, and then imagine the level of dysfunction that was in that unit because 50% didn't like the other 50%.
Yeah, I buy that.
Like it was.
I was a split house.
I'm sure you got some stories from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were at ground zero for some of that, and I was like, bro, I hated
because he got out. He was out before I shadowed, so.
Oh.
I know that he.
That's us.
Yeah. Because there was an open position when I shadowed.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. It's a weird
was
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to wear like balaclavas to cover up their identities.
Hot as fuck.
Yeah, narcotics was a good time.
Yes, sir. Don't even question me on that, saying that you didn't hear anything when we were sitting right there and heard cannons going off. I mean, there's no way you didn't hear that. No way. Take your hands out of your pocket. Who's got their gun?
Nobody got gun.
Fucking liar. Who's got the gun?
Damn.
Got the gun.
We just found shit.
Maybe the cannon's going off for that dude getting out of his car.
Probably. You know what happened?
That's a whole lot of officer. Right? That's a thick blue line.
I had an officer sitting right there that heard a gunfire.
Okay, listen.
Two of them.
No. Listen.
Yeah.
This is one of my people.
Why do you think we're all out here?
No, listen.
We're not out here for our help.
Okay, but we don't
Listen,
have it
Linda.
good.
Clearly.
This car I tested because I'm gonna bring to commerce.
Did it go 30 times? Did it go back,
you want?
back,
Yeah, you want to hear? You want to hear?
I do.
Yeah, because this is mistake.
Do it again.
With whatever. Listen.
Crank it up.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Stop talking, crank it up and show me. Because you know you ain't gonna do it.
He's
okay,
about it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
This is a mistake. You ready?
My dog. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Pillar cages?
You know, he went hard in the paint and a couple extra pedal steps there. He gave it a little bit of juice.
Wow.
Hey, this is a mistake. But the way he speaks, I don't like. I work in mechanic shop. So whatever you ask me, you hear a gun, I say, no, I don't hear a gun. I don't want it there in the street because it's illegal, so I do it in my shop.
Okay. You know where the bridge is right there?
Yes.
There's two policemen sitting under the bridge right there, and they hear that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
He said his arteries have glaze running through.
Glaze.
I'm sorry.
Even when you fired that up, I was standing over here. I puckered up. You know?
Yeah, these two guys down here, under the bridge, they're cool.
Also,
Well, the guy asking me, do you hear a shot?
we
I
pulled
said,
guns out
"No,
of this guy,
no
and
way."
now we're just gonna laugh.
Yeah, but this is launch
Say it's-
control. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Our mistake.
I'm sorry, man. Oh my.
This must have been a while
my
ago.
friend.
Yeah, dude.
Because if that were to happen now, it would be like a lawsuit,
100%.
lawsuit.
We're gonna lose 5 points here for being wrong in the lecture. But for society, I'm gonna give them +5 for the lulz. Almost done. We're doing good today. I will have a very short after party for story time.
At the end of the hall, you're going to have our 2 shooters. So this is going, I'm not going to say 2, I'm not going to say 3 to the officers, we're going to say multiple.
Okay, so I'm going to have a few of you guys.
This kid's like 14.
Spread out in the hallway, playing dead, and then a few of you guys.
They're probably
so determine who wants to go, kind of spread out.
cadets or
Do it,
whatever.
which is like a lot of people have not done that. They've waited for backup, they waited for this, but there's no staff.
But 9.
Oh, they have the. This is kind of cute. They have the one. It's a 6 beer, which is kind of adorable. But
is that the Mantis?
Yeah, it's the Mantis system for it.
Officers were there at the same time on the outside of the school, putting on their vests and waiting. So many people met on your tool.
Against, pull hard. Now it's facing the outside.
North American Rescue, I'll bless it.
Couple. Start losing circulation. Tuck it in.
You gotta put the little elastic thing on it, dog. What are you doing? Sorry. Those are some heavily
And I
used
do
tourniquets.
this. And then let's say, Jamie, if you want to take that and just start twisting the backpack up under here. Start twisting, twist, twist. He can twist this, and I'll face you guys so you can see. On my leg, on my arm, whatever, twist it over and over and over, cut off the circulation, and then...
I'm not saying it wouldn't work.
If you're...
You gotta really be hurting for a tourniquet.
If you're on the way to the hospital and you don't
ain't got
have a
nothing
belt,
else?
I guess.
Oh, you ready?
I don't know.
You ready, kiddos? Snake staff systems. Tourniquet in my pocket. I keep it on me 24/7. Because I carry a gun, so. I don't know how to address this.
And rest. That'll stop.
It's a Vertex bag.
All
Never
we're
mind, I
doing
take
is
it all
taking
back.
that hose and right?
That Vertex
So it's
bag
no
will
longer
TQ you.
flowing. Ending threat, getting rid of it, ending it. But the next part.
I don't love the title.
Yeah, same.
Just because you've been to...
Likely...
I would say better.
Likely better.
Training.
Yeah. Likely. I'll drop that. I'll drop that link in the chat. I went to pretty good training for this.
While we're talking to...
It's a little hyperbolic.
All right. So 3 to 4 man, you guys tell me where's the 12 o'clock in this room?
Because I can address a threat from right there at the threshold, inside, move out
This
of the
is
way of
creative.
my buddies, and get an angle on whoever that is.
I'm not saying it's bad.
Let's say we have, if
I
I'm
find it
pushing
hard to
this
believe
way,
it's the
I can start
best.
seeing that from here. And
that's what I'm looking at. Because if I'm like
This guy's kind of brave to be risking a suppressor if he's not shooting.
this,
But I guess
and
reps,
Dan's right there, and I need to engage,
also- maybe it's an
I
inert
know it's
cam.
not much,
I guess, but why does he have the little sleeve over it? You know?
but there's
So
a
he looks
difference
cool?
between
I guess you're
scanning like this and scanning like this. If
I
something
don't
were
know,
to
I
happen,
feel like he just wants
Cool.
to look cool.
I mean, he does, to be fair. He's drippy.
Yeah.
He's drippy.
there you go.
Oh, this might be... This is the Unit Solutions little faux suppressor.
I can imagine each one of the spots in that class helped him.
So I know
Be that
when you
drippy.
see and be like, okay,
Not
To
getting ahead of
afford him being
ourselves,
that drippy?
And then
right?
Dan and Jamie are just
swing down.
I'm going to skip forward. I want to see what scenario training looks like.
pause, push.
I'm already mad about this.
on this side.
it's always just a bit. And
You could see that door. I have that.
every door, every building, every.
So I plan to go to alert training in the next calendar year, so I'll get to speak on this. We do have an instructor, maybe in the chat still, or at least someone that's gone to alert. Alert training is really close to this, where you're teaching like formations. I was actually talking to someone who's a TCOL instructor today, actually. The training I got to go to, shout out to Blue Bearing. I have their sticker somewhere over there. If you didn't resolve the scenario within the first like minute and a half, it was a fail. That's how hard. Yeah. And like, I remember leaving each one like laying down. We got done and they called index and I was like, just give me a second. I'm just gonna lay down real quick. It's like, but that's a realistic, that's what you want. A quick, I'm not saying this is bad. There's very good search tactics and movement and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
However, specifically like active shooter training should be different. I do think that there should be a different method.
Well, there's still 25 minutes left in this video, so maybe they got to. I want to see them with actors. Like,
One of the
show me
things
full
that
speed.
I also want everybody to kind of think about, I know we're going to be shooting, we're doing drills and everything. If I'm coming out of the holster, if
like
you're
his belt.
coming out of the holster for any reason at all,
His belt setup.
outside of training, why is that? Yeah, you need to stop a threat. Like somebody's life is in
I need to deter a threat. Law enforcement's a little different.
danger. Like that is an emergency. So I know we're shooting one round and we're thinking about it, but the thing we always preach is like beyond the drill, keep our heads switched on beyond that. Want to train something, it's that way, then forth.
All right, stand by. And good, nice. Treat this as like a holster draw. You're about to commit to a
coming up. You're
Drippy with the Mark 18.
Look,
bro, I
plant,
need to make more money,
pivot.
dog.
Does that make sense? The same when I turn into it?
He's identified.
Threat. Shoot 3, ideally, right? So it's bang, 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 bang. This is also, I like to say, a check on learning with your holster draw. Make sense? Because I'm literally doing the same draw. 3, 2, 1. But now
curious.
it's just I'm shooting while I'm doing it. Cool?
Yeah.
I'm very lucky. I get a lot of. I've been trained by some of the best instructors in the world post policing, and
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000.
I do think this drill where they're working on what a draw is supposed to look like. I don't like the idea of shooting while I'm coming up to my sight. But either you're shooting from anchor point or you're shooting from a sight picture. There should be no in between. I have beef with that only because, like,
well, especially in the law enforcement scenario, when your
skipping one off,
backstop is
dude.
always less than ideal.
Well, and if this is specifically designed for active shooter training, missing should not be tolerated. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So if
It's my
John
only
and
issue
I,
with
let's just, I don't, 2 weeks ago, to have some, to have your ear a little bit, so into position, and then get my gun up and come off safe, and safety and squeeze at the same time. Got it?
Hold on, what? Absolutely not. In no universe.
I don't
in
understand
no universe am I taking a shot with a rifle without a sight picture. Call me dumb.
What's the point?
There's zero reason to do that. In a law enforcement
like,
setting.
honestly, tell me the point.
Zero reason. You should be at a low ready, at the very minimum. Maybe port arms, but like, crack it off. God, especially with a rifle round, dude. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
I don't know how to feel about that. That's dumb. That's objectively dumb. Okay, I'm about to get this. I'm fine with.
I got a 2-point, and
Yeah,
just,
walking
it's
is
throw.
move and shoot.
That's perfectly
not
reasonable.
that crazy, but I just feel like you're teaching some crazy bad habits with that.
Shooting From under the armpit with a rifle?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. I just don't.
Like,
I don't get it.
No universe. Okay, let's see it. Impress me.
All right.
It's legit agency people here.
Active shooter school.
Yeah.
Okay. You're the first one that responds. You're right down the road. You get here. Multiple callers have been calling in about kids getting shots at the school.
Okay.
So you're the first one in. You came through the stairwell and you're heading this way.
We're doing single officer? My dog.
Cool. Solid copy.
All right. We're live.
That's good. Okay. Okay. Very fast. We're good. I'm not upset about it.
He's moving well.
Yeah. I'm not upset about this.
I always kind of laugh because people will bitch about muzzle. I'm like, bro, you're about to muzzle the shit out of everybody in the school. Like, it's just the nature of the beast.
mean,
I have no beef with any of that. In that environment,
a very different scenario.
Yeah, in that you're gonna be pointing a muzzle at a bunch of stuff. I'm fine. To the shots. Good. Okay, I'm happy with this at least.
Okay?
My dog.
Hands up! On top of your head! I'm here to help, guys. I'm here to help. Scenario over.
Love the aggressiveness. Yeah. Right?
That was
You hear
good.
Those shots. No time.
Some of the firearms stuff was a little weird. There's a couple things that were a little weird, but that is precisely what I was talking about being quick to it. They didn't give him a shot indicator, so I do think if you don't know where you're running, don't just run nowhere. Be moving and trying to systematically clear as much as you can, but the second you're getting a sound indicator, it should be off to the races. He did a good job with that. I'll bless it. I'm gonna big sin it for shooting. That's a... Maybe you get away with
just
that.
Doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. The is there a scenario where I would get away with that? Maybe, but I wouldn't teach it. So, like they don't teach you how to hit a suspect with a car that's not in another car, but you drive a car for a living, you can figure it out. I don't know. Let's go for admin for paying. Well, let's be honest, admin didn't pay for it. Well, maybe they let him take it. I'll give him some points back for that.
Admin probably paid for that.
Okay, I'll give him some points back. Shout out to admin making points. It's a trooper. Let's lower our expectations.
Turn your car off, please. There we go. How you doing this evening? Did the dog go in and drink with you?
No.
Where'd you leave the puppy at?
Right here.
What?
Yeah.
Let me get step back there for me.
What do you think?
Color's full sleeve.
What do you think he spends on razors a month? He's probably like he's even like above like the Gillette. He probably uses like Harry's or something weird, like some boutique.
I bet, to be honest, I bet he goes to a barbershop every week.
You think? You know what? I bet he does. I bet he does. That makes sense. No, he seems like
how much did you
That's
have
a
to drink?
very clean shave.
5 shots.
5 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Or he
1
does it
being
himself
you're
with
stone
a
cold sober,
single blade
waking up to go to
straight.
church.
I'm like 5.
5. So you sit
Shut
about
up.
halfway.
Yeah.
Bring your hands away from your body.
And my dog.
Wearing a pajama
Relax, we'll
shirt?
talk about that in a second, okay?
All right.
Right now, you're being placed under arrest for driving
The
under the influence of
dog.
alcohol, okay?
Yeah, I know. He would drop him off at the house. He would go.
You think he'll come to me and stuff like that? No problem?
Maybe call him Joe.
I got the Joe. What's the Lion King thing? He didn't do anything wrong, so we're going to give him a ride home tonight. Are you able to turn your...
Also, the head shave definitely makes me think he goes to a
he goes
barber.
to a barber. Damn it! I don't want to give State Boys points, but I will.
That's an easy 5.
But the dog
He
joke?
was the dog.
He was pretty sweet about it. I'll give him 10. Whatever.
Yeah, all right. I was gonna say that was pretty good. He wasn't a dick. He didn't do anything.
He was at least personable.
Unnecessary.
I'm gonna give some more points to administrators. That is a loosey-goosey tattoo policy. Shout out to them for that though. And then
Uniform too.
Yeah.
The
He looked good.
sleeves could have been tourniquets.
Yeah, he looked good. I know no complaints here.
Hey! Hey! Wake up! There's a Bud Light can sitting in there and he passed clean out.
That's what he did to me.
He'll go home. The horse knows how to get home. We got a drunk Amish guy passed down the buggy, and I hit the side of the buggy and hollered at the guy. He's
really
passed
a
clean
DUI?
out. He's slumped over. I'm gonna see if
He just said the horse knows how to get home.
Does the horse count as a responsible party driving this vehicle?
So here's my thing, right? Everyone's all on this automated driving with the Teslas and shit, right? So are you getting a DUI if your Tesla drives you home?
That's a weird one, dude.
It's fully automated.
That's what I mean.
I'm
like,
saying
like
when
from
when
curb
it
to
becomes
curb.
that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when it's curb to curb, I don't think you have it. To be honest, because you're not operating.
Right. So if that horse, if he's asleep and the horse is just taking him home, what is he driving or operating under the influence?
Yeah, dog. I don't think you got it, to be honest.
We might have it stopped. Nope.
What do we do?
Disregard. He just rammed it into my car.
Hey, stop your horse. Stop your horse. Stop your horse. Okay, grab the horse so it doesn't do any more damage, please. It's rammed it into my car already. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21.
We have
Well,
anyone?
for right now, until I can determine
He's on
who you
Rumspringa.
are, I'm going to detain you.
All right.
All right? Whoa. Hey.
I'm gonna count the horses good boys.
Yes.
+5 for being a homie and not a snitch. That was PD. I'm gonna take 5. I don't know if they had a lawful detention.
I mean,
Maybe a
I can
welfare check?
understand, I can understand, like, for public safety and all that.
Yeah.
But
It was getting him home.
I don't know.
That's a weird gray area.
I would love to see the articulation for the DUI.
I would have been Googling Texas Penal Code right then and there.
Because, like, is it because he has the buggy? Like, if he was riding the horse home drunk.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if he's on the horse and drunk?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, I
if that's
get the
anything.
buggy is on the road.
Maybe because it's like a powered conveyance, right? Or whatever it is.
Kind of powered, I guess.
You know what I like? That's where I think you might
Being
get him.
pulled, though.
If it's a road legal conveyance that has to get registered and everything.
Yeah.
And
Could
by
it technically
you being
be PI? I'd give you PI all day, every day.
Yeah, PI would be the easy route to go.
Because he is putting himself and others in danger by being intoxicated and in that buggy.
Yeah. I'm here for PI.
We're just being picky about the DUI thing.
Hey, man.
It's still
matters.
there's still got to be something illegal about it.
I just don't know that
You know what?
call it DUI.
You know what? I would even be okay with PI in the driving Tesla.
Yeah.
The self-driving Tesla.
I'd buy
I'd be
that.
okay with that.
'Cause you're probably
I've
able to
arrested
get it.
passengers for PI.
I have too. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I've had to work the DWI, and you know, like the 3 drunk people in it, and you're like,
Yeah, and they refuse to get like anyone to come get them, and you're like, well,
looks like we're all
can't
hanging
leave
out
you here
in
in the
jail.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Very
we don't
interesting.
typically find people
That's a weird call.
stealing $13,000 worth of cheese. So our officers were conducting proactive patrols at 4 a.m.
It's not me.
and they observed a cart full of cheese just sitting in the laneway. They thought
That's a lot of cheese.
Damn.
this was a little bit suspicious, so they got out to investigate. As they
That's
were trying to figure out
$13,000 worth of cheese.
Probably some like gourmet stuff.
Or what is it? 1,000 or 100?
They said
Yeah,
13,000.
13,000. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a cheese heist. It's a heist when it gets that expensive.
what is going on, they observed a man coming out of a building, and as soon as he saw the police, he ran away. This was actually a break and enter in progress, and this man was about to steal almost $13,000 worth
It's at
of
Whole Foods. They could have put that cart half the size. It'd have been $13K. Like
cheese from Whole
Chat
Foods.
said it's illegal to ride a horse while drunk in Texas. Is that true?
I did not know that.
Send me the.
I'd like to see the penal code offense. Yeah.
Yeah, penal code or.
To be fair,
it's under traffic.
I never once saw a person in my area of operations on a horse. So
I did.
You did. You worked in a very different side of town for a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I would like to read the
elements. That's what I want to see.
Of the office.
Bro, same.
It doesn't happen quite often, to be honest. The whole situation, it's very odd. Unfortunately,
bro, shout out to BWP Photography. Join the Discord, dog. Had a fun, like,
cheese did have to be thrown away or left the fridge. And so we're now at a point where we're reaching out to the public to help us identify this individual. We think that he was there just to steal the cheese. It is a hot commodity nowadays. We were just fortunate to be in the right place at the right time.
It's just there to steal the cheese. Well, it's not Mexican cheese. So
I guess was this RCMP? Who's this?
Yeah,
BC
RCMP,
police.
I think.
Oh,
it was.
Yeah. Oh no, Vancouver RCMP.
I thought
it's the Fed boys.
British Columbia.
I'll give them points for being about it and trying to prevent crime.
Yeah. I did a thumbs up like you could see me.
There it is. Just put the emoji in the chat. I'll see that. That'll work.
Emu said there's an article that mentions all the cheese heists going on lately. Why is everyone stealing cheese? Is it that expensive?
Dylan, don't give RCMP points. I'm not impressed.
They're still in the negative.
Yeah,
see, yeah. I knew Juan would have my back. Mexican cheese is the best cheese.
Dog. Queso fresco goes hard in the paint, and it's got low lactose, so I can have it. Hey, whoa, dog. Hey, hold on. We're taking points from media for self-snitching. Yeah, it's weird.
He smuggles it in his belly.
That's fair. There it is. Gouda has to be in the right thing to be good. Mozzarella I could pretty much have by itself. That's good.
Bro, you give me some cheddar?
Yeah, I like cheddar cheese. Dude, the Tillamook, the Costco Tillamook.
Oh,
like slices.
So good. It's so good.
So I'll break it up into a bunch of little squares and put it on a bunch of like crackers and microwave it for like 30 or 40 seconds.
Stop, I'm hungry.
Top tier.
Can't afford food up here.
You gotta back up. Guy, you trying to fight. I'm telling you, you'll get popped. Hey, look.
I tell you what, you know what I used to hate about this? Notice
everything.
Notice the instructors don't have any PPE.
Yeah.
This was the streets.
Yeah.
That person gets dealt with. It's that simple. They have complete impunity to damage, so they talk like a lot of shit. Bro, catch me in the streets. Let's see how this goes down.
These future military police soldiers are participating in a riot control drill. A vital skill many hope they'll never have to use.
We don't have riots all the time. It doesn't happen often. However, when it does call for them,
I tell you what, I feel safer now. Mostly because if they did do some weird posse comitatus, martial law stuff, this is who's coming out. Like, I'm way more scared of Fort Worth PD than I am of this. I've seen Fort Worth PD get down, and that's not what the ones you want. This, like, every fifth officer's HRT, and that's terrifying.
Dude, remember the I don't remember what they were marching about, but Fort Worth PD put up like a barricade, and they told them if they passed the barricade, they were going to get like CS and all that.
Yeah.
And Fort Worth shot CS like onto this bridge into this crowd of people, and then started just
arresting everybody.
Oh, dude, taking everybody.
Yeah, Dallas did it on the big bridge. They arrested like 1,000 people. Yeah, it was wild.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like wild. I was like, bro, Dallas. That's back when Dallas didn't play.
So, Robert said Penal Code 94.045 clearly states DUI must be a vehicle. A cart is considered a vehicle. Now on horseback, they can still charge animal endangering, public intox. No code for horseback.
Shout out to Robert, my dog.
I understand the animal endangerment and PI.
Yeah.
If the cart falls into a vehicle, then you do have DUI.
Yeah. The cart you'd have to, so I'm assuming operating the cart is being in the driver's seat and being at the reins, I guess. Is operating.
Like having the reins.
Yeah, that's if that qualifies as operating a motor vehicle, then it would count.
Yeah.
But great.
It makes sense.
That Robert, bro, mad respect.
Yeah.
To experience a riot and have to deal with it, they're able to answer to it and do the things that they need to do.
I haven't seen them do anything they need to do.
I like that one. I'd rather them stressed out here than be stressed out at the correctional facility. And it's the small things that can turn into the big things. He get hit, this shield can cut your hand, or break your hand, or pinch your hand, and you're out of the fight. You're focused now on that hand, and then you're gonna get vulnerable, the shield's gonna go down, and then they're gonna shake your ass in the neck. You got me?
They're in the middle of their 10-week training program to become military police soldiers, or M.
I'm not going to disparage my military police brothers, but
just the sisters.
Bro, you always know where to sink the knife, dog. So I will challenge you with this. Would you rather have an MP or a police explorer recruit?
For what?
As like a new recruit for your police department.
Explorer.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Like, I don't mind. Like, we would get like Marines or Army guys that were coming off of active. That was an easier transition if their job was not policing. But like MPs in particular struggled really hard with figuring out the like copping part of it. But like a grunt, like the guys like at 11 Bravo, and it's like, I'm just an idiot. Like very coachable. They tend to be very coachable and easier to get along to like understanding how the job works. But MPs.
I think it depends on the mindset.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like the ones that we worked with came in thinking they were already cops.
Yes.
And they were not.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Like, but I think if you looked at it objectively and you were like, yeah, I was a military police officer and I enforced not like, I don't exactly know what they enforced, but you're not doing it in the same way as you do it on the street.
It's again.
So if you came into it with like that, but I don't think they do. I think they come in like, I already know what's going on.
Yeah, and everyone's an individual. These are blanket statements, but generally speaking, there are trends. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also, like Emu had like a brain aneurysm over here with the welfare checker. Jesus.
Peace.
What are some misconceptions people have about what you do?
So the biggest one is we're cage kickers, right?
Glorified security guards. I mean, I always heard the MP from
Well, you
party kid.
kind of are.
All of these are accurate.
Your snitch and stuff.
All of these are accurate.
Well, everybody knows the job of the MP, the military policeman.
Bro, how many parties did I break up as a bunch? There was a lot I also let ride because I'm like, dog, it's Friday. Like, I'll give y'all till midnight. How about that? And
yeah, midnight was about my cutoff too.
If it was a Saturday, sometimes I would let it ride till like 12
Saturday
or 1. Yeah.
Over the summer?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd let that ride, but like, bro, it's Wednesday. And
especially if they had a full band and they gave me a plate of food.
Yeah. Bro.
We can rock this till 2.
I never took unsealed food on duty except for 2 occasions. And damn, that torta walked up to me and was like, food? And I was like, Yeah, right. I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
If I'm being honest, it was only ever authentic Mexican food that I would eat.
Yeah. I had no idea what they were saying to me.
I didn't trust anything.
I could smell my food. That shit was good. One was in the Viridian. It was wild.
Walked away with about 4 tacos.
Bro.
Some beans, some
rice. There was like some carnitas, and it was good, dog. I was like, it was this old Mexican
I would trust a lot of things coming out of the Viridian.
That's what I mean. The Viridian, that was a no-brainer. I'd have eaten a quiche from there or something. But there was one party in the 50s that I probably took a gamble, but it was good. It didn't upset my tummy, so I think I was doing pretty good.
To make life miserable,
you have to go to the Hilton for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Aside, MPs operate in 3 different areas.
Okay.
Policing, detention, and security and mobility.
We're protectors. We protect the people on post.
Vehicle.
They enforce the law on Army posts and in military prisons around.
But is the law the same?
The globe.
I don't think
We
so.
deal with the worst of the worst criminals that were in uniformed services.
In 2022, the Army reported an average of 661 daily prisoners in its facilities, former soldiers who have committed crimes under military jurisdiction.
There it is.
Business Insider spent 4 days at Fort.
You know what would suck, though? Foot pursuits.
Yeah?
In the military? But everybody's doing cardio. Like active. If you were a reserve, that's one thing. But like active?
Yeah.
Dog. It's like the wrong MOS for you to be running after, and you're like, oh. Like this guy eats 17-mile rucks for breakfast, and you're like, oh. He's even drunk, like him running from you is like, damn it, I want to be smelling his vape for half of this foot chase, you know? Like
Leonard Wood in Missouri's Ozark region, where about 1,300 future military police soldiers are training to protect Army posts in the U.S. and around the world.
What is he? Is this like a Chinese like prisoner of war or what? It's like a child, literally.
Unless that dude's like 7 feet tall,
maybe.
And around the world.
The FBI style, baby. Let's go.
There are 5 military occupational specialties, or MOSs, for enlisted soldiers within the Military Police Corps. Commissioned military police officers are 31 alphas and 30 becoming soldiers. And starting their MP Advanced Individual Training, trainees participate in a night infiltration event known as Nick at Night.
We are coming in, we're sneaking up on the enemy because of course we're crawling, right? Kind of like the D-Day kind of thing, storming the beach.
Trainees can only crawl through the course.
Shut the fuck up. Do not compare your stupid fucking training to D-Day.
I've had some really cool training before, right? And I've even like participated in very crazy like law enforcement interactions where we're jumping fences and pointing guns and doing whatever. Like,
yeah,
I don't know that there's a single person alive today that had participated in anything close to D-Day.
Also, you're crawling in after the enemy. Yeah. What did they have a few too many beers on base
at Applebee's?
Like, what the fuck?
And toward the finish line under the cover of complete darkness. Occasionally, parachute flares fly into the sky and illuminate the course. During this time, trainees freeze and remain still until darkness returns.
It's like Squid Games.
But unlike other training scenarios, machine guns fire live rounds over their heads.
That's a good time.
A lot of them are 18 years old, so them experiencing live rounds going over their head and having to experience this could be very nerve-wracking for somebody that's never experienced it before. From
their job
conducting riot shields, and then there will be people.
We'll open up, the snatch and grab team will go out, no more than 3 people. As soon as that third person crosses that line, they grab that inmate, they pull him through the line.
Wall or objects.
After learning the technique, it's time to put it into action.
Get back! Get back! Get back! Get back!
The riot shield serves as their main point of protection.
Their hands pretty much that's the main reason why we're running up to the line. We're trying to push through the line, kick the line, because we need to test out the intensity.
I'm skipping ahead.
Okay, what's the third way? Okay, so very close. Okay, but
11 U.S. soldiers were charged with crimes committed against detainees at Abu Ghraib. 7 of those soldiers were military police.
Base training to present really hard problems to our military police soldiers in training so they can have practice making those good decisions, and they can apply, as an example, their learning about the Geneva Conventions to real life if they need to go and execute that on America's behalf.
To a different destination, so actively one of them, so we, because that's want abilities.
Other students are more familiar with the restraints.
Does it feel weird to be getting cuffed?
My family's in corrections.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Now, are they in corrections, as in like they're in prison, or they are working?
That's what I'm like.
It's an important.
What do you mean by that?
It's an important, and even if they were working in the, why do you know what handcuffs feel like?
Yeah,
a little sussy wussy. You're describing your parents.
It's a weird feeling.
wait a second.
When you joined the Army, is this the image that you had of yourself in full restraints that you want to send to your mom?
Honestly, yeah. My grandfather, she was.
These kids are so young.
Careers to serve for their time.
Several rounds of practice searching the detainees and applying cuffs. Students are evaluated by their instructors.
Sure that those systems do not close up or tight or for the
Soldiers trained to fire the M17 Sig Sauer 9mm handgun.
The Safe 320.
You cannot be lazy today. Hold that weapon high and tight.
Out before or used.
The only thing is not easy.
Bro, also, not a single person's hearing was protected during this exercise.
Easy, like.
Isn't the only difference between military police soldiers and civilian law enforcement.
We cannot do certain things that civilian cops can do. I say one of the biggest ones is the escalation of force, how you could put your hands on somebody so very quickly. You kind of have to analyze and see the initial threat first.
Oh, tell me you have no idea what you're talking about without telling me. This dude.
I'm going to listen to it one more time. Hold on.
Is the escalation of force, how you could put your hands on somebody so very quickly. You kind of have to analyze and see the initial threat first before even trying to, attempt to take the escalation level a bit.
Why is that? Why can you not do that here as a military officer?
Well, UCMJ mostly.
The UCMJ, or the Uniform Code of Military Justice, is the set of laws that members of the...
So according to him, when we were cops, we could just walk up to anyone and grab them.
I mean,
and that would have been fine.
I mean,
that's what he's saying, right? So he just proved our argument why transitioning from MP to being a real police officer is
and like
not easy.
But
he also thinks that crawling in the dirt at night with live fire rounds is as cool and as important as storming the beach of Normandy. Okay.
Wild.
Cool, bud.
Wild.
Why don't you try crawling on a treadmill and losing about 60 pounds? You stupid fat fuck. Jesus.
I don't know, man. Go to college, kids.
To like kind of approach just anybody, but the difference is in the civilian world, you have to approach with caution. You can't just approach somebody you don't know if they have something on their person, such as any kind of weapon.
We just escalate force and just grab people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the installation, those kind of weapons are illegal unless it's registered on the installation.
Students learn the different positions used when firing the weapon.
Yeah, so we have 4 positions. So 4, you're gonna break double retention out of your holster, placing the weapon on fire. And then on position 2, you're gonna go to the close and ready, which is like your right hand should be closest to the right side of your.
So this is, I shout out to Navy SEALs. We did I have a video. I can pull this video out actually. Did a video talking about shooting in awkward positions, and I was taught
on
how
purpose.
to shoot. Yeah, like on purpose. Like you're grappled, so you're having to shoot.
Are they considering that anchor?
So we have anchor position. Here, I'll go through a little demo here with my hand finger here. So anchor for law enforcement was this. You would pull your slide out. Well, you also kept your thumb like just on the side of the gun, right? Like I wasn't trying to do anything with this other than just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
This position, it was very weird. This is like this whole like armpit tuck they kind of wanted you to do. And it's good enough for SEAL Team 4 or whatever this guy was on. So it's good enough for these guys. But this high and tight thing is what they teach, right? And I'm like, no. And I did it. Tried it a couple times, and I ended up shooting the gun with my thumb on the back of the slide. So I was trying to accomplish this weird high and tight position. I was like, dude, just anchor solves all those problems. But anyways, it's what's taught. Whether it makes sense or not, it's whatever, but it's weird.
Very weird.
Your rib. In position 3, you're gonna come and collapse your left hand with your right hand, right just forward of your chest. And then position 4, you're gonna push out completely, going into the actual ready stance ready posture.
The soldiers also learn how to shoot from different distances.
So we have blocks staged at 5 meters, 2 meters, as well as 7,
The guy
10,
on the right
and
there needs to
farther
learn
out
how to pull his pistol out of his holster.
25 meters.
I bet this is reasonably okay.
We understand majority of the time that you're pulling out your M17, you're probably closer than a threat. It's just trying to help them with their accuracy, getting that sight picture, taking their time, and then easy trigger squeeze.
Meal team
time is a lot faster than it would be if they didn't have repetition.
I love this chat.
This chat's always at a bottom.
Once trainees are familiar,
imperative for the law enforcement officer. You got to remember, as law enforcement, we only draw our weapons when the threat is presented to us. That means we're already at.
That's what I mean. Is they're running the way we did with just Let's get into every gunfight at night one-handed.
Yeah,
that disadvantage.
Pause it real
target
quick.
Left and
You really think they only pull their guns when there's a threat displayed?
I think that's what they're supposed to say.
Yeah.
I want to talk to an MP. We're gonna bring an MP on here, and I'm gonna get this.
We worked with one.
We did.
He wasn't terrible.
No, he was not. No, he was not.
His explanation of being an MP made me like him a little less.
Yeah. But yeah.
Because he also thought that he was a police officer before he was a police officer.
Right.
Because of his MP job. So
it's a little cavalier.
Sector. Return back to position 3, and then you flashlight comes off, and you holster and ready for another engagement.
MPs must be experts at operating different types of tactical vehicles.
So say you're all the way this way, and you see you want them to straighten their tires out, go like this. Everyone go like this.
Before the drive, they learn the proper hand signals used to direct the M1151A Humvee.
Getting behind the wheel.
You have to learn hand signaling for traffic.
I think this and this are kind of universal. I feel like if I went to Bangladesh, like right now, and this would make sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's the military. They gotta do everything.
Let's
tactical vehicles. It is a little bit different when it comes.
Scale counterinsurgency missions in Iraq and Afghanistan. But as the military transitions to potential large-scale combat operations in the Indo-Pacific and Eastern Europe, the Army is also training MPs to be warfighters. In February 2024, the Army announced plans to restructure its force, moving 3,000 MPs and cavalry scouts to new roles.
What was
the military police corps?
He was in the Army, right?
Yes, he was in the Army.
Yeah, he was an Army MP.
September of 1941. has grown and reduced and grown and reduced based decisions on over.
I tell you what, man, I bet you go from being an MP to having to do like infantry shit, like, hey, now you're gonna go like kill people and stuff. That's gotta be an attitude adjustment.
Yeah,
that's gotta suck. Technically, this is Fed boys.
Yeah, technically.
I'm gonna take 5. That's some weird stuff going on there.
You should take at least 5 for that fucking.
You know what? You know what? Hold on.
Fuck that guy.
There we go. There we go. Problem solved. Their suspects never leave base. Yeah, I mean, leaving base, like I don't know. It's a weird deal. You get to. There are no real Fourth Amendments in the military. Like,
do MPs get deployed? Like, do they?
Sure. Yeah.
Do they work the bases overseas?
Yeah. I think they also help in peacekeeping. Yeah.
I will give them credit for that.
Yeah, I believe,
because I'm sure a base like in Afghanistan, or in Iraq, or even Kuwait, or I'm sure that shit sucks.
They're probably, and somebody correct us in the comment section if you're there, but like if you're in a forward operating base and they have MPs that are there to protect it, like you're getting mortared, you're getting shot at, like you're seeing action, if you want to call it that. And I'm sure they also have to at times go outside the wire to go. I don't know if they're supplementing I don't know how any of that shit works, but there are MPs doing the hard job. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it occurs, but the trend has been that it's a hard transition to come into doing it stateside. The SEAL Team 6 guy has an easy time making it onto SWAT, right? The MP really struggle buses to become a cop. Like that's the difference that I've seen. Yeah, maybe deputies it's easier, but we'll see.
Tonight of a police officer using a rather unconventional patrol vehicle.
Yeah, felony theft suspect recently getting away on a motorized scooter when an officer in Lone Tree took matters into his own hands on a child's bike. Channel 2's Gabby Easterwood has this story tonight.
Well, it was right along this area of Omega Circle here in Lone Tree where that door...
This is way too nice of a news story. What is this, like? Like an HBO special? Like,
doorbell video picks up, showing that officer using some unusual tactics. It was all gas, no brakes, and a wild ride for Officer Tar last Saturday.
We thought it was just something out of a movie.
The pursuit started at a nearby store. Officer Tar responded.
When I pulled on scene, I saw the male, I saw the loss prevention employee. He ran behind the back of the Coles. From there, he threw the clothes up.
This guy's got like a cochlear implant here. Maybe that's just like an earpiece thing and he pulled the cable out.
Where's the rest of it, though? Maybe behind him?
Yeah.
In the air, kept running.
And that's where the body camera video picks up.
And we ran through a backyard. We ran over the top of the front gate into the front yard of the house.
My man's getting after it.
He then ran across the street. He grabbed a scooter that was laying in a front yard, and then he started to ride it down the hill.
Down that hill, straight past Shayla Lampton's residence.
Did you see a guy on a scooter? We had just gotten done hanging the Christmas lights on the house and everything, and sitting on the front porch. All of a sudden, we see a guy go by on a scooter. Didn't think anything of it.
I'm just gonna keep going. It's fine. Bill knows why I'm like. Did you know we were coming? Like. The officer showed up to thank you. Also, you smell like weed, dog.
2 seconds later, a cop's like, "Sir, did you see somebody on a scooter go by?" Pedaling his little heart out on that kid's bike, knees to chin.
Her and her fiance pointing Officer Tar in the right direction, and Officer Tar radioing that in.
242, he just took a scooter.
Leading to the suspect's apprehension.
Yeah, you thought we were gonna catch you, were we, huh? They're really good about what they do. Like, this just goes to show.
He didn't catch anybody.
You're not allowed to throw that little kid's bike down and then start talking shit.
Like, good on him for staying in it.
yeah, that's great.
But he did ditch the bike.
Yeah.
Like now, if he's gonna pay for a new one, fine.
Sure.
But that wasn't part of it. Well, let's see.
Show that they don't do it just for a job or a paycheck. They're doing it to actually take care of the community and protect and serve.
It's never just the shoplifting.
Unless you're a kid's bike.
And there's always more going on here. And so that's why we take our job so seriously, to get these people to be held accountable.
Out of the box thinking, leading to Lone Tree Police getting a handle on the incident.
Something out of my norm. I know that the bike and the scooter were returned to the family. They were grateful. I asked them if they could throw a little air in the tires next time.
That suspect has since been booked into the Douglas County Justice Center in Lone Tree.
For throwing the bike.
What about society for old?
You know what?
Old girl there on the porch.
Society. You know what? For being thick as thieves here, I'll give you guys some points here. She was high, but she's at least telling them where they went. That's it for this evening. I didn't get everything. I'm sorry, vigilantes. You guys made a much longer list than what I brought. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of after party time, but I do have to wake up early tomorrow. Bill stayed for the whole time, so thank him for his diligent work here.
I sure did.
I will be out Tuesday, but I'll be here on Thursday, and I should be back in time for next Thursday's stream. So I'm updating y'all as y'all want to go. How many likes did we get? Let me check.
Let me see.
I think I said 85 is what we needed.
We got, mine says 61. With 96 people watching.
Stand by. Just to double verify. OnlyCops.
OnlyCops.
Mine says, yeah, 61. Okay, no points. If anything, actually. You ready? Where's chat?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
We're going to take... $20 points. Let's go. Anyways, I love you guys. I will give you guys a short story time here. For those of you that want to partake in story time, you can join our Discord either through becoming a member on YouTube or a Patreon member. And for as little as $1 a month, you too can be disappointed when chat does not drop a like. Anyways.
Love you, chat.
I do love all of y'all, and we will see you guys next week. Or I'll see you guys on Thursday. Oh, bye-bye.
I will not be here Thursday. I'm sorry. It did get up to 70 really quick.
Yeah, I started talking shit. That's what happened.
We